meet the showman. The way I'm shining, I'm golden, and I bring the commotion. My spirit never been broken, cause I got the devotion. No magical potion, you're just a drop in the ocean. I'm a tidal wave taking over. It's the moment, stay focused. They all know I'm the coldest. So cold that they frozen. Pressure building, it's over. Yeah, we're rising up. No, nobody can stop me, can't fight this rush. No, I won't stop, top 3 is the final push. Can't imitate how we be, better keep it hush. But I can't hide this buzz, cause we're rising up. Yeah, we're rising up. Yeah, we're rising up. Yeah, we're rising up.
Energy, I am the force. I am the opportunity breaking down the door. Yeah, I am the life energy. I am the force. I am the opportunity breaking down the door. I am the end to the means. I am the final touch you need. I am the means that precede reputation. I stay high when they wanna go low. No switch is sweet, I just get up and roll. No AI, I'm the OG me. LOL to the ones trying to rip for free. Yeah, I stay high when they wanna go low. No switch is sweet, I just get up and roll. No AI, I'm the OG me. LOL to the ones trying to rip for free. Yeah, ain't nothing in this world that's stopping me. Ain't nothing in this world that's stopping me. Ain't nothing in this world that's stopping me. Ain't nothing, nah. Ain't nothing in this world that's stopping me. Ain't nothing in this world that's stopping me. Ain't nothing in this world that's stopping me. Ain't nothing that. Nah, ain't nothing in this world that's stopping me. Ain't nothing in this world that's stopping me. Ain't nothing in this world that's stopping me. Ain't nothing that. I stay high when they wanna go low. No switch is sweet, I just get up and roll. No AI, I'm the OG me. LOL to the ones trying to rip for free. Yeah, I stay high when they wanna go low. No switch is sweet, I just get up and roll. No AI, I'm the OG me. LOL to the ones trying to rip for free. Yeah.
Alumbra, noche luna, no te voy a perder, solo quiero ascender y te busco hasta en la lluvia. Corazón de mujer tiene su mal y su bien, ternura, no te oculto. Nine written a secretos son absurdos. Ain't got time for them y no me luzo. Desde que me enteré este amor bien lujo. Desde que me enteré de que este mundo se mueve con puro poder. Desde que me enteré de que este mundo se mueve con puro poder. Mami, mami, mami chula, eres suficiente, quítate la duda. Mami, mami, mami chula, tú sabes que ese error nunca nos dura. Nunca dura, ni suazura, ella lo jura. But then I prove the wrong, and I ain't beefing, no peleo. Dejo que pase las cosas, más bien la veo y analizo desde lejos. Gracias a Dios me entero y me sale bello. Me enteré del Judas los perros, movimiento limpio, espíritu en espejo. Desde que me enteré de que este mundo se mueve con puro poder. Desde que me enteré de que este mundo se mueve con puro poder. Mami, mami, mami chula, eres suficiente, quítate la duda. Mami, mami, mami chula, tú sabes que ese error nunca nos dura. Nunca dura, ni suazura, ella lo jura. But then I prove the wrong, and I ain't beefing, no peleo. Dejo que pase las cosas, más bien la veo. Nunca dura, mi suazura, ella lo jura. But then I prove the wrong, and I ain't beefing, no peleo. Dejo que pase las cosas, más bien la veo. Desde que me enteré de que este mundo se mueve con puro poder. Desde que me enteré de que este mundo se mueve con puro poder. Desde que me enteré de que este mundo se mueve con puro poder. Desde que me enteré de que este mundo se mueve con puro poder.
drum hit, your whole body go crack. Baseline move, take it off of the map. No time to sit, all my people's where you at. Boom, boom, bap, yeah, we got it like that. Kick drum hit, your whole body go crack. Baseline move, take it off of the map. We rock crowds every time we react. Yeah, we got it like that. All my people's where you at. Whole body go. Yeah, we got it like that. It go boom, boom, bap. Yeah, we got it like that. Kick drum hit, your whole body go crack. Baseline move, take it off of the map. No time to sit, all my people's where you at. Boom, boom, bap. Yeah, we got it like that. Kick drum hit, your whole body go crack. Baseline move, take it off of the map. We rock crowds every time we react. Yeah, we got it like that. All my people's where you at. Whole body go. Yeah, we got it like that. It go boom, boom, bap. Yeah, we got it like that. Kick drum hit, your whole body go crack. Baseline move, take it off of the map. No time to sit, all my people's where you at. Boom, boom, bap. Yeah, we got it like that. Kick drum hit, your whole body go. Baseline move, take it off of the map. We rock crowds every time we react. Your whole body go. Baseline move, your whole body go. The baseline move.
No deje que tu chispa se extinga. Dame, por eso.
Déjame ver otro lado. Baja tus brazos cruzados. Relaja los hombros pesados. Y abre el pecho que está cerrado. Déjame ver otro lado. Y baja tus brazos cruzados. Relaja los hombros pesados. Y abre el pecho que está cerrado. Sí, sí. Miraste pa' dentro y volviste. Sí, sí. Te desviaste y luego seguiste. Sí, sí. Pero te levantaste y pa'lante fuiste. Sí, sí. Volviste y eres mi brújula, te sigo. Dame algo real y algo que me tinque. Más chiste, menos chisme. Dame algo original y algo que me indique. Dale fuerte que pique. Permítate, pana. Yo veo tus sueños cumpliéndose mañana. Yo veo tu futuro, el reflejo de tu alma. No te falta suerte, sigue con ganas. Sí, sí. Miraste pa' dentro y volviste. Sí, sí. Te desviaste y luego seguiste. Sí, sí. Pero te levantaste y pa'lante fuiste. Sí, sí. Volviste y eres mi brújula, te sigo si me permites. No deje que tu chispa se extinga. No deje que tu esencia se acabe. Siempre has sido tú quien determina si te levantas cuando caes. No deje que tu chispa se extinga. No deje que tu esencia se acabe. Siempre has sido tú quien determina si te levantas cuando caes. Déjame ver otro lado. Baja tus brazos cruzados. Relaja los hombros pesados. Y abre el pecho que está cerrado. Déjame ver otro lado. Y baja tus brazos cruzados. Relaja los hombros pesados. Y abre el pecho que está cerrado. Dame algo real, y algo que me tinque. Dame algo original, y algo que me indique. Que venga de corazón, son, y que me repique. Dame algo real, y algo que me tinque.
Yo, NT. See the boy self-made. So I don't watch face. Yo.
Your The Snapdragon Pro Series powered by Samsung Galaxy is brought to you by Snapdragon Elite Gaming, Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra, Monster Energy, and DHL.
After 9 hours of competition yesterday, we have whittled down the field to our final four: Gallerus, Stalwart, Seminole, and Q9. Today, we will crown a champion and watch what team will take home the lion's share of $200,000. It's time for the Mobile Masters for Call of Duty Mobile. They are live from Sao Paulo, Brazil, and our teams are getting themselves geared up and ready for another day of matches. I'm your host, Glitter Explosion, here on the English stream, and we've got Ton and Lanex with us to kick off the day. Ton, what is going through your head right now after everything we saw yesterday and now preparing for these final matches?
What's going through my head is that we've got some absolute bangers coming up today. 3 more games to decide a champion at Mobile Masters. So excited to see who comes out on top. I know we have our favorites, but every single one of these games today could go any direction. So excited to see how it goes down.
Yeah, and arguably one of the strongest performances that we saw all day was out of Gallerus, Lanex, and they're definitely looking pretty comfy in their semifinals right now. But what are your thoughts on today's competition in general?
I think today we're going to see which lines of stories we've seen yesterday are going to keep rolling, or what else is going to happen when it comes to upsettings. Because, as you said, Galleries, they have put up quite a show, but not only them, Seminole also did their homework. So I'm very, very good to see what's going to happen today, since we also going to need to see from Q9 and Stalwart, whatever they're going to bring up today, what kind of surprises they're going to execute, because this is going to be the day. Playoffs is always playoffs.
All right. Well, as always, if you guys at home somehow missed all the action that we had yesterday, you can just go back and look for a quick recap on our social media. We've got X, we have Insta, and we have Facebook. As long as you follow us on there, you'll be up to date with all of the action related to Mobile Masters and all Snapdragon Pro Series stuff. So definitely make sure you do that, because when we have the next season for Call of Duty Mobile, it's probably going to be even crazier than what we see here. But for now, we've got to get through today. That's where you want to be to get all of your Mobile Masters updates. Now, we've mentioned all of the teams that we have participating here. We've mentioned the fact that there's also lots of cash. First, let's take a look at the bracket so you guys can see what squads, or where they ended up, really, because we know who made it, right? But now we can see what these matchups will be. We've got Gallerus going up against Stalwart, and then we've got Seminole going up against Q9. These are, like you were saying, Ton, these are going to be some really tough matches.
Yeah, I think especially semi-final number 2 is one that we've all kind of been licking our lips at. Gallerus against Stalwart. I think a lot of people will be leaning Gallerus, but, you know, it's a semi-final of a single elimination bracket now. You can't make any mistakes. Could there potentially be a surprise there? Whereas Seminole against Q9 should be an absolute banger. This is like the first real big challenge for Seminole over this entire event so far. And Q9 are looking for a bounce back after a really poor performance against Gallerus. So it's going to be interesting to see if they can maybe potentially get revenge in the grand finals if they get their Q9 off Seminole and book their spot.
Yeah, and if you guys are just joining us, just so that you understand clarification, semifinals 1 and 2 will be best of 5s like we saw all day yesterday. Gallerus and Q9 were those teams that came out of Group A. Stalwart and Seminole were the teams that came out of Group B. When we make it to grand finals, though, it transitions to a best of 7. So an even longer opportunity for these teams to try and get that win, because this is what they are fighting for, Lanex. $90,000 to first place. I mean, they're all so close. They can taste it. They've already made it to the second tier here.
Yes, second day is here for them, and it's an absolutely astonishing prize pool, as you said. Fantastic, $200,000 playing out for the teams. And again, the 4 best teams, the top ones from yesterday to today, are gonna fight for these colored tags, right? They are the most desired ones in this picture. So I'm eager to see how teams are gonna play out this one. Are they gonna fight for this? What else? They're gonna show us that they could not show yesterday, since it was a very long day, as you mentioned, 9 hours of work. And again, let's see how they're gonna bring this one to the table. Let's see what else is gonna happen in the maps. I'm very curious.
Yeah, it'll definitely be interesting to see which teams were able to muster up even just that last little bit of energy to go back and do a little bit of VOD review and try to pay attention to what they had going on yesterday. Carry over the good, get rid of some of the bad, because let's talk about the matches we have in store for you guys. Okay, you saw that bracket. We're actually starting with the semifinals 2. That's the match at the bottom, the one Ton was saying is going to be an absolute banger between Seminole and Q9. I mean, we have so many good things to say about Seminole. They're one of those teams we've all been keeping our eyes on here, Ton, as a potential grand finals participant.
Yeah, look, I think yesterday Brody kind of mentioned that we thought Q9 going up against Gallerus was a potential final, and it still could be, but Seminole are the ones who could potentially upset that party. Based on what we've seen from Q9 yesterday, though, I think they will have some concerns, because Gallerus didn't just beat them, they absolutely smoked them. So I think that will have really dented the confidence now of Q9, but it is a different day. However, Seminoles had kind of, I want to say that, you know, for the sake of Q9, you've went up against some of the top opposition already, Whereas Seminoles, with all due respect to their opponents, haven't played anybody of that caliber yet. They haven't played anybody of the caliber of Q9 yet. So for Seminole, have you had maybe too much of an easy time on the first day, and now you're coming into where the big boys are at on day number 2, and are you ready? Are you at that level yet? That's what my question is going to be around Seminole. If they are, then this should be a good game, and a game that they can absolutely win. But if they come in a little bit flat, going up against some of this high-tier opposition, it could be a difficult game for them.
Yeah, and you can see some of the highlights from yesterday running there as well. Some really strong moments, but like you were mentioning, potentially slightly easier than what they have to now face off it against in Q9 here, Lanex. A very strong roster.
Yeah, Q9 yesterday facing the Brazilian taste, as I stated, because they have just played against Brazilian teams, Inco and then Galleries. But like Dan just mentioned, they faced the worst nightmares against Galleries. They were totally overrun. And we have a very strong roster here, especially on the hands of Mauchi, since he was a decisive player in many occasions. Not only play in a short positioning, but also from a long distance. So a very, very important player. As we have some images of Inco suffering against them, not only in slums, but also in Summit for hardpoint. So I'm eager to see how the Chinese are going to perform today, since they come from this recovery path. But Seminole, on the other hand, Lauren, they have proved themselves not only in a short series against Amigos to begin with, but after in a longer one against the Stalwarts. And this is going to be definitely a banger. Seminole coming to face the big boys, and Q9 needing to prove more.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how those picks and bans go when we get to that portion of the competition, to see what maps these teams are picking to either benefit themselves or try and ban out from under each other. But we've got some head-to-head stats here as well, and they're actually pretty even across the board, which is really just further solidifying just how close of a matchup this is going to be between these two squads, Chris.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it should be a really, really close game. Of course, you know, going up against some of the different opposition, it's Seminole with the slightly better head-to-head in terms of the actual stats that they have against each other, but I really wouldn't read too much into these at all. Going up against each other, it's going to be a completely different story. It's whoever's playing better on the day. The stats in this game, we can throw them out the window. We really don't know which way this one's going to go.
I'm excited that we're starting with this one, because I think this is going to be a great way to kick everything off, as we will be doing the same thing that we did yesterday. So if you're just joining us, we will have the same type of setup when it comes to getting into these matches. We'll have our player walk-ins. We'll wait for our players to be ready to go for those, and then we'll kind of get into the map vetoes and move into the gameplay process from there. And we are also following along with that main event that is live in Sao Paulo, Brazil right now. From what we saw yesterday, it looks gorgeous, because they've got their entire desk outside in flawless weather. Everybody looks like they're having a blast. We've gotten a chance to hear from our players quite a few times on quite a few different things, and that's been really fun as well. And while we prepare for the first match of the day, chat, it's time for me to ask you the question that I always ask you. I want to know who you think is taking home match number 1 of the day. This one is probably potentially the hardest choice to make when it comes to predictions out of all of our matches here today. I want to know if you think it's going to be Q9, or do you think it will be Seminole who kicks off the day with a win? Now, remember, we're on day, and like Ton said, it's single elimination now. If you lose here in these semifinals, you're out, okay? This is your last opportunity, so it is all or nothing. So this is a really important matchup for these teams. And like I was mentioning, we did have an opportunity to catch up with a lot of these squads. Well, one of the teams we obviously got to chat with was Q9. Really cool team profile done on them. So let's take a second to check it out and get to know them a little bit better.
去年 Wolves 作为中国的战队拿到了世界冠军，我觉得这对我们赛区来说是无上的荣耀吧。
我觉得这是给我们信心吧，因为我们平时跟他们关系还是比较好的。
然后今年因为我们等于说代替他们，因为我们确实在预选赛里面击败了他们，获得了唯一的这个名额，来到了巴西参加这一次的比赛。因为他们之前已经赢过了，所以我觉得我们也应该更加的努力去捍卫这一份荣誉吧，就是。 然后对于我们来说，我们只能付出比别人多无数倍的努力，我们需要花比别人多的时间，我们需要做比别的赛区的队伍更多的研究。
我觉得不断的学习吧，还有进步自己就可以了。
在我的认知里，对于去年 Wolves 的夺冠的话，会意味着现在全球的各大赛区的实力都会越来越接近，也就意味着其实每个赛区的每支战队。 都会有着机会，包括像这次的比赛，我觉得其实谁都有可能去获得最后的冠军吧。
因为毕竟世界冠军我们都已经打败过了，还有什么打败不了的？
All right, lots to talk about when it comes to Q9. I do love that they said, though, and I totally agree here with this Lane X, is the fact that the skill level between all of the major regions is just starting to get closer and closer as everyone's kind of getting better together. And that's why these competitions are that much harder. But they are trying to keep the title in their region right now. Okay, Wolves being the ones that got it last time. This is an important matchup for Q9.
Definitely an important match for them, campaign that they're going to remember forever. And I love not only what you mentioned, the levels of the regions getting closer and closer as time passes by, as official competitions take place and happen. But not only that, the concept of honor that the Chinese folks usually bring to the table, as they said, respecting a lot what Wolves did for their country and region, and I love this sense of defending that honor against other opponents and especially against Western teams. Why not to say? Last year, Western versus Eastern was the major line during Worlds, especially on stage 5. So now, potentially, they're gonna have the chance to show themselves as well, just like Wolves did last year.
Ooh, all right. It looks like we might be moments away from getting our first walk-ins of day 2, which means our teams should be ready to go as well. Start preparing for the first match of the day. This part is always the most hype. We saw how insane the audience was yesterday, Ton. Every time any Latin American team was winning, and we talked about just how important like that hometown advantage really is.
Yeah, they're all really biased, Lauren. It's actually kind of crazy. No, look, they like to have there's a lot of energy in that crowd. They very much get behind their hometown teams every single time. So I'm curious who they'll actually be rooting for in this one, of course, with no horse in the race, so to speak. It'll be interesting to see who they do get behind, but I'm just hoping they get behind some good Call of Duty Mobile.
I think we're absolutely bound for some hype Call of Duty Mobile. What's like the general sentiment of what she's saying to the crowd here, though, Lanex?
Yes, she's cheering and expecting to see a lot of energy coming from the crowds. Previously, on the beginning of her sayings, she was asking folks what they think is going to happen. And also, she was mentioning that these 4 top teams we're going to have today, they have already played 10 matches yesterday to be here. So it's a very, very important moment for them. And of course, all the energy is gonna play in favor of those who love to have this kind of contact, who love the pressure on the stage. And I'm sure it's gonna be the case of all these players over here. And Lauren, just to add a little bit, I would love to mention how focused and serious Seminole players are looking in this competition, and of course very, very centered on what they need to do, as they know that this is going to be not only, I would say, a cross-national battle, but also a regional battle between Western and Eastern folks. So let's see what is going to happen. It's going to be such a great match. I'm very anxious to cast this one.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think I love that you point out the vibe of Seminole, because they also just look so comfortable, right? And this is something we've talked about. They've been on stages like this before. That experience really comes into play here. It's not about the nerves. It's about the fact that they know what needs to be done. It's just about the fact that they haven't gotten to do it yet against Q9. Were they able to learn enough from the matches that Q9 had against those other teams and then kind of use that information to their advantage? Or will Q9 surprise them right out of the gate? I don't know. I feel like I keep going back to the match of Q9 and Gallerus as my benchmark because we keep expecting Gallerus to be in those grand finals. And I feel like however someone competes against Gallerus is potentially a good indication of where they might be in the overall top 4 because that's just how good Gallerus was yesterday, Leonex.
Yes, you're not wrong there. I think you nailed it. To be honest, whatever teams are able to do against Gallerus, that's gonna gauge how strong they are over here. But now Seminole are gonna have the chance to prove that they are also a top dog, and Q9, they're gonna have to do a little more when it comes especially to a hardpoint and also search and destroy, the modes where they lost yesterday to Gallerus. They have beaten the Brazilians, on Crossroads with a 3-2 rounds, but that was it. It was a very close match, and again, having won twice against Tinko maybe is not enough as a point of support or motivation against Seminole, because Seminole is definitely in another level.
All right, well, you can see the audience getting hyped to get into this match. Those vetoes instantly come through as well here, Tons. So talk us through as we start things off with that Arsenal hardpoint.
Yeah, for Q9, the first 2 maps we've seen them go up against Gallerus are the first 2 maps in this series as well. I mean, I want to say they got blown away, but they really did start to bring it back. And it's something I do want to point out in Q9's favor. I felt like I've said a lot for positivity for Seminole so far. But for Q9, you think about the performances that were coming through from Gallerus. We've seen some ridiculous numbers put up against them in terms of the slaying department. I think they got outslayed by like 30 or 40 and only lost by 70. Now, that still sounds a lot of points in a hardpoint, but realistically speaking, it's a hill and a bit, right? It's not a great deal considering how badly they got outslayed. So Seminoles have to be careful. They still very much know what they're doing, Q9. They will still play the fundamentals of hardpoint very, very well. You need to make sure that you punish them when you can, though. But for Q9, what they can take as a positivity for it, if they can match with the slaying, they've got a very good chance of winning the game.
I actually really like those points. That's a really good shout when we're talking about trying to compare these teams, because, and this is something we mentioned all day yesterday too, we have to remember just technically how much limited information and stats we really have, because this very few times where we get to see these teams go up against each other on that global stage. We see a poll coming through as well, and it is dead even 50-50 split for the audience, who people think are going to be winning this first match. Everybody that is watching in chat sitting there voting as well. I might agree with that, Lanex. This one's a hard call.
Yeah, very hard call, very hard to compare whatever just happened to what we're gonna see actually inside of the maps. I see a potential strength on the side of Seminole for hardpoint to begin with, since they come undefeated on this mode specifically. And then eventually Q9 are gonna have to use the search and destroy ahead of that. But again, they have themselves lost Tunisia. They have not performed well against a stronger team as in Galleries. So let's see how that's gonna play out. And I would stick to what Chris said before. I mean, making those comparisons or looking at the numbers, to be more precise now, can be just a steering attempt, but that's not gonna tell about the story of the game itself, which is gonna be fantastic anyways.
We'll have to see which of these two teams are able to get a strong start and maybe take home that hard point, give themselves a little bit of a leg up, because our first semifinals match of the day is about to get underway. Ton Lanix, let's get into it.
Well, here we go. Seminole taking on Q9, a huge game. Who's going to likely go up against Gallerus unless Stalwart can upset the odds? Well, we will find out very, very shortly. Into this game we go. Seminole with one player now moving towards the backside, so we'll see if we do continue, but looking like we are. Seminole the first ones in here, but again, just what we kind of pointed out there for Q9 yesterday, massively outslayed, but still managed to keep it relatively close. Let's see how the game does break down for both these two teams. Q9 very much play a very, very good standard game of hardpoint. but the slaying ability yesterday, we say the slaying ability was tough. I mean, they were going up against Lukashin, right? So I think it's always a little bit tough to compare when you've got to go up against him.
Yes, always hard again, but Seminole having fantastic players as we see some of them getting out of the map. So
yeah,
oh man, for Q9 having won this first gunfight on P1 and now suddenly being taken out of the map must be kind of set down.
Yeah, one of the players wasn't moving from the start, so there was obviously an issue on the Seminole side. We will get this one restarted, presumably. Referee's already in there, nice and swift. Hopefully get it sorted. But yeah, I think, you know, we can talk about Arsenal Hardpoint a little bit more. I think for Q9, they got massively, I want to say, they got out rotated for the most part as well. They started to bring it back towards the end. And I think for all that I was making the point of that it was only a 70-point game, at one stage, Gallerus were only 1 point away for quite a decent amount of time. So they knew they were going to get it in the end. They knew they were going to be in a good spot. So they maybe just took their foot off the pedal a little bit. So we can maybe count that into the conversation a little bit, but realistically speaking, for Q9, they know their fundamentals. Fundamentals on Arsenal are so crucial. Can they find them to be a benefit for them in this game, especially? And again, to go back to my kind of point of what we said about Seminoles in terms of they haven't faced the toughest level of competition yet here in Brazil. So it's going to be a bit of an uptick in terms of the opponent's levels here in this game.
Chris, I agree. I would say that Seminole yesterday suffered a lot from the other opponents. When it comes to Hardpoint, let's remind that against Amigos, they suffered 234 points. So Amigos getting close to an eventual victory. And then after Stalwart did a good job as well. They played twice against them, against Seminole on Hardpoint mode. So yes, I agree with you that this is going to be very even, to say the least, because Q9 yesterday managed to get almost to 200 points against Galleries. And, I mean, there's not a lot of teams in the world managing to do that these days, especially now with Lucas in the roster. Again, the super team from Ladder are going to perform later on today. But we are back to map number 1 with Q9 and Seminole to replay this P1, and let's see how this fight's going to go, man.
Well, here we go. Everybody inside the point this time around. This P1 time. Q1, Q9, P1. We'll get that confused a couple of times, but irrelevant of that. It's a mixy one to kick things off, but it is a hill. Yeah. I talk about it quite a bit. In terms of P1 hills, here you go. It's one of those ones that if you get to and you can get it locked down, you can get a decent amount of time on this hill.
Yes, especially because P1 is so close geography, in geography terms, let's say, to P2. So Seminole beginning way better. This one, of course, the connection fixed up, and Q9 feeling that. S-Band was fantastic on this last attempt, killing a lot of opponents. Vague again doing vague things, being very tight against foes, and as we see now, both teams moving. Q9 is going to try to go for these scrap points. I don't know if it's going to be enough to make a presence in this beginning of map, man. But let's see how P2 is going to play out, because Seminole is already walking to 50 points almost.
Yeah, it's a fantastic start from Seminole. You take that all day long. If they can stay in the point here as well, the spawns towards the back are fine for them too. One kill going to go in over towards the window side, choosing not to make a push through guns. So keep an eye on that push. That's going to come from number 3 on the Q9 side. They are not going to get the spawns towards the back, so a little bit of a mixy one here over towards P2. But for Q9, I feel like a good start is really crucial. But right now, struggling to find the kills. Seminole wiping the board, and all of a sudden, ticking past 60 points already. It's all Seminole in the kill feed. Fantastic start from their near side.
Massive, and definitely Q9 not managing to organize this backline. The retake is totally in disarray, and right now they are eventually looking into 100 points as an edge by Seminole if they keep doing what they're doing now, and eventually spreading this quality gameplay into P3 in a bit. Again, Q9 moving, heading over to the next hill, but in a very disorganized way yet. And again, the kill feed getting into the hands of the Chinese. Let's see if that's gonna be enough then.
Big fights going on here, though, and the last one over towards the back. Won by Yang Wan. So he's the only one that's actually going to survive out of Q9, but he is going to be a pain. And I think if you're Seminole, you've got to search for him. Hunter Killer Drone is actually out. It's hunting down for him as well. Can't quite find him. Cartels will start to call on the Predator Missile as well, which will hopefully help them defend from this side. It does. They start to hold it down, but the spawn's coming in over towards the back, and that is all because of the one player, Yang Wan, over towards the back side, but they've got to run into Washi. Really good job from him. Annihilator in hand. One player towards the back, and Mao Shi is going to find the shots onto Washi as well. So really big kills coming in from both two teams, but it's Seminole still just about in control.
perfect combination of operators on the side of the Americans, getting before into P3 and also managing to use this combo of damage, a massive amount of damage against Q9, who eventually stepped over, and here they are using the smoke. We have Ulin trying to use the claw to intensify, to amp up this level of defensive that they have over here, but I mean, so far, the best heal they brought to the table, to the game. Let's see how they're gonna keep playing out in P4, because P4 is all about getting there before as well. And now we see that Seminole is already making the early fights to dominate this one, Chris.
Really good job coming in from Vig. Equalizer out. You can't push this. That would now be 4 in a row coming in from Vig. Hunter Killer out as well, which may well help it along the line, but Jinan is also going to pop his equalizer. Gets dealt with pretty much immediately, though. So for all that, Q9 invest quite a lot of operators over towards the previous hill of P3. Seminole do the same at P4, but they're making them count. Big kills coming on through. It's a kill feed full of kills for Seminole, and that's going to be another 23 points. 35 seconds or so remaining here over towards P4. Seminole starting to run away with this game already.
Seminole nullifying whatever Q9 just did in the P3 and whatever they are trying to do here, and keeping the edge since at the beginning. We are seeing also Sun playing very well, trying to use the cover. He gets back on track. Let's see, this is Sparrow. Okay, managing to take Cartels down. Let's see if Seminole gets to the 150 points, as we see this P4 already being more of a 50-50. Q9 growing up on damage and also attempting to have a better map control from this moment on. Now it's gonna be all about the next hill, the P5, as close as it is, and this is gonna be very interesting, Chris.
Rotation coming in around the back for Seminole. They pick up, I want to say, 95% of the time over towards P4. P5 rotation is here, though, for the side of Q9. Could do with some decent time as they're starting to leak points. That lead is starting to get a little bit of a concern. Marshy now with the R9, so good with it. Yang Wan, though, up close and personal, gets the job done. Kill starting to come through here for the side of Q9. Can they find this next kill here over towards Ban? Not quite. Who's going to be able to find 2? Break potentially on the cards here for Seminole. 35 seconds to play for.
Fantastic work by Q9, not offering the comfort that Seminole is getting used to. So Q9 trying to come to the game, trying to set themselves before the Seminole, dominating this last half of P5, as we see many battles happening. And the kill feed becomes more hybrid to this point, as Seminole are trying to regain control. They're trying to grasp control over Arsenal to not allow the Chinese to grow. We see a margin of 100 points to the side of the Americans, and they're dominating the last seconds of this P5, already having it over to the first hill again. Let's see how they're gonna perform this one, because P1 before this rotation, Chris, was totally American.
Fantastic performance from Seminole in the first rotation. Q9 could not get here first. It's felt like Seminole have really had the rotations on lock. Every single time it seems like they're the first ones there, and if they're not, it doesn't matter. They'll find the break, and that's why they found themselves with a 110-point lead. Gravity Vortex gun is out, though, from Yang Wan. Just going to try and zone the players off if he can. Got break coming through from Q9. 40 seconds on offer here. If they can find it, they're only a hill's worth difference behind in this game. Yang Wan's still combining himself here, though, just trying to stay alive. And just something I just want to point out as well, Q9 getting outslayed relatively heavily. I want to say it's about 10, 15, maybe even 20 kill difference. Seminole really slaying well. And that's what's found themselves in a decent lead. Good chunks of time coming through because of the kills, the breaks they can find. But a really good job here from Q9 over towards P1. 15 seconds remaining here. That's the majority of the time over towards the Chinese.
Yes, the Chinese growing, as we said, and I like how both sides are trying to bring the Vortex. They are using it to zone it out, as we saw now these prize fighters, Bai Yang against Marshy. Such a gap closing, and he managed to do it, turning everything here into a box ring. Interesting. Cartels also getting closer to the second P2, and this battle is getting even more interesting as time passes by. Seminole getting closer to 200, but again, Q9 doing a good job, and they are becoming more confident. You can tell by the amount of plays, you can tell how they are managing to get there before, clawing the hands of Oling, and I like to see those operators making an impact in the game.
A lot of operators invested, though. Here from Q9, want to make sure they do get something for it. Seminole now forced towards the back, or one player is going to spawn towards the back. It's going to be a spawn out, though, from the rest. Still 25 seconds to play for here. Q9 have closed the gap. We're going to try and continue to do so. Couple of kills coming through from Seminole. Contested point right now, but the break will come in. Crucially for Seminole as well. Q9 starting to spawn towards the back, so the rotation is starting to come in. Every single point that Seminole get here is just a bonus. Moshi can find one, but gets taken down. Final few scrap points. Going to go over towards the side of Q9. Seminole will find themselves 50 points in the lead, but they should have been first one there. Split spawn starting to come through. Ao Ling finds himself here. This is a big moment in this game.
Yeah, such a big moment. Just 50 points of difference. But the Americans are looking so consistent, right? They are dominating this one. They've never been before or below on points against Q9. And so far, it's still a seminal map. From back-to-back, I would say, since the first moments, the first heal as we saw. And over here, Q9 are trying to respond to that. Mao-Chi eventually warming up, eventually getting to his peak. The team here needs him. The team play needs him as well, not only inside of the hill, but out of it. And as you said, the Americans trying to outslay the Chinese from Q9. And such a fantastic P3 over here by Q9.
A fantastic job indeed. Yang Wan just holding it down from the lab side as well. Fantastic work from Q9. Looked like the rotation was initially there for Seminole. In the end, they're the ones to lock it down. Q9 do a fantastic job and make this now a game. 5 seconds to go on the previous hill. It's going to be about a 20-point game by the time we do head over towards this next hill. And these transitional kills are so important because Q9 have had such good control. They've had time to set up, but not going to happen. Marshy will find a couple, as will Band. Seminole will start to find the rotation in. Vig now with the equalizer did such big damage here last time around. There's 2 kills already. Did you know where the pushes are going to be coming from? The push now starting to come through from this side. Vig is ready. Equalizer in hand. Q9 are going to have to start pushing very, very quickly. Seminole just starting to rack up the points. Vig now just spraying through the smoke. Seminole 25 seconds away.
Look at the momentum battles here, Chris. When Q9 was finding their ways, they're finding a route potentially to get back on the map. Seminole began killing more, so it's momentum versus momentum. Q9 was beginning to like the map, and Seminole, they made their peace with killing more and trading better. As we see Cocktails getting into the point planet, eliminating Mao-Chi.
Wow.
What a game, what a fantastic way to begin this mess of the blast of 5 maps series, man. I'm totally emotional because this game is just gigantic between regions, between Q9 and Seminole.
Huge break coming through from Seminole. Find themselves very, very close now. The last time around, Q9 managed to find the majority of the time here. Over towards P5. They're going to have this initial break. And they will be looking to hold this down, but the spawns towards the back are in. Vig can find nothing on the other side. Now Cartel's trying to make a push through. Everybody for Seminole spawning towards the back, but Washi the Annihilator out will find 2. Cartels and Vig combining well. Last player alive inside of the window, and now he's dead to rights as well. It's a clean break from Seminole. 8 seconds away from them now. Spawns towards the back here for Q9. 5 seconds for Seminole. You got to make the push now. If you're Q9, can you get inside quick enough? They're all running in, and they all manage to find a way through. Mao-Shi manages to find a breakthrough. Cartel's trying to lock this down with the War Machine. Gets taken down by the nade. It's 1 second. Seminoles need to try and find one more breakthrough, but the kills start to come through from Q9. They're just about holding on.
What a response. Fantastic. My God, Q9. What are you guys doing here in Brazil? What a game. What a way to keep alive inside of the map.
Gotta rotate.
Just as Seminole. They're beginning to celebrate, man. But let's see rotations now.
5 seconds. Oh, Seminole just go for the scrap time to get the job done. 1-0 for Seminole. A huge Arsenal hard point from them. A fantastic start. Things started to get maybe a little bit scary in the mid-game. But they eventually get the job done. Seminole 1-0 up in this semi-final.
Yeah, such a convincing way, right, to get back on that last P5 and then not allowing Q9 to respond. But then in the end, the Chinese even tried. They made it a last sprint. On the following seconds, we could see another level of battles. But again, Seminole proving themselves to be better. And I would say they kind of felt how Q9 tried to grow to the occasion in the middle of the map especially. But they kept their mindset. They kept working and not allowing points for the Chinese side.
Q9 again. It's similar story though. They really struggle at the beginning of these hard points, and this time around, yeah, okay, they do get outslayed again by the looks of things. I mean, you look at Jinan at 25 and 41. These are performances you can't have in this stage of the tournament. Really good game coming out from Cartels though, 47 and 25. Big game from him. And it was just the start that Seminole had. They just ran away with it. It was about 120 point difference. They closed it out within 30, but it's when that lead is there, it's so difficult to come back from, because you got to fight for the scrap, you got to fight for the rotation, you got to make sure you hold every single second that Seminoles get at that stage when they are already 120 in the lead is a massive, massive point. So the fact that they were able to find that lead, it just puts you in such a good position. Really good job coming in from Seminole. That big lead in the mid game is what made the difference.
And totally, Chris, both sides escalated when it comes to hardpoint from yesterday to today. You can tell by how much Seminole, they struggled to keep control, as you said, grasping control for spaces and killing, and they have managed to face finally a bigger dog. No meaning disrespect to Amigos or Stalwart, but Seminole finally facing this Q9, not yesterday's Q9, but today's Q9, and we could see that they really did well. They were a very, very solid team. And the Chinese, from the other hand, they were also trying their best, getting closer, stepping up on points. So again, the best exhibition so far on hardpoint mode for Q9.
Fantastic work from Seminole. And you make a good point. You know, we mentioned that Seminole hadn't really played anybody of the top caliber. Well, they've just dealt with Q9 there on an Arsenal hardpoint. I think if you're Q9, that's 2 in a row, I believe. You now lost on Arsenal. You probably don't see that again from them. Well, I mean, obviously, if they don't continue on in the tournament, but at the same time, if they do get to a grand final, I don't think we see that again. They've really struggled on that map here at Masters. And that's going to be something that stings, because they obviously quite like it. They're letting it get through. That's no problem. Seminole, very, very good Arsenal team. Though, really good job coming in from them. And heading into a map number 2 now, Seminoles have got to be feeling really, really good. Based on how, you know, we said that they hadn't necessarily played against the top level of competition. Now they pretty much deal with Q9 in a comfortable fashion in map number 1. They've got to be feeling some momentum behind them right now.
Yes, and okay, hardpoint solved right now as for now when it comes to the series, but search and destroy mode is gonna bring a more equalized situation, since both teams, they have not struggled, they have not, faced I mean, their best performances yesterday, as we see some stats from Cartels coming to step up with Seminole. Such a nice amount of kills on his side, 47, having been eliminated just 24 times, and with assists mounting to 19. So such a great performance individually speaking, as we see him confident, laughing, and that's the overall vibe on the side of the Americans over here. Chris, very confident, and again, unbeaten on hardpoint, but trying to do better at the bomb mode. I would say both sides are gonna have to play a very, very nice match in this next map, trying to do the minimal amount of mistakes that they can, because it's going to be definitely a punishment map for them.
It's a one that stings. And now if you're Q9, your last loss when you were playing up against Galoris, you went on to a Tunisia Search and Destroy after a loss on Arsenal hardpoint, and you lost that one as well. So for Q9, they need to shut up shop here. They cannot let themselves go 2-0 down. Pretty good control team, but you got to still be thinking to yourselves, you need to find a win here in map number 2. A few crowd shots, they're getting lively. I'd imagine they'll be a lot more lively for the second semi-final when Galoris get themselves on the stage. Should be an absolute banger when it finds its way around. You looking forward to that one, Leonex? That should be a very good game as well, but Galoris have got to be feeling good about it, right?
Yes, I think it's going to help also on making the place busier. As you said, the second semi-final is going to bring all the Brazilians we can find and love, and of course the sports and loving Cody M. It's going to be great to see galleries performing. But back to Seminole versus Q9. Let's go for Tunisia. Search and destroy mode, which is going to be a very technical, very, very tense, dramatic map for both sides, and Seminole are going to be playing on the defensive side to begin this conversation, heavily defending A, and also placing some players on the middle of the map with Martian Cartels, as we see the first battle beginnings. Q9 trying to make kind of a standard hold, waiting for Seminole to make mistakes, but Seminole is just making everything almost perfect.
I really love that. I think it was Marshy who was in and around the middle of the map, just trying to play a little bit of information, peeks his way out in the middle of the map, and all of a sudden, you have Cartels there to pick up the pieces. Really good job. Washi will take a nade, though. Will have to back on down. Very low on health, but that will now, of course, give Q9 complete control of the site. This bomb's going down.
Yes, gonna go to the ground. The B activated now. It's gonna be Seminol's responsibility to get back. Q9 though, making the eliminations. Sun, Xenon. We have Xenon with the Fanac waiting for more opponents. Nice job, nice defensive barrier. The Chinese wall working on the hands of Q9. And what a bullet. And oh my god, just like that, we've seen the 1-0 on the Chinese side. Chris, what a great way to begin this map. Looking confident and bringing the push to B without hesitating for a second, and also defending the B positioning after that.
And what I really loved about that, obviously, was, well, Sun finding 3. But the nade over towards the back bails Washi out. He has to back down. And that just gives complete control of the site over towards him. Cartels, last time found first blood, will be taken down himself. Nade's coming in again. Washi gonna have to back on down. Oh my word! Wow. The shot into Sun is phenomenal. 4 versus 4 now, though. Smarshy will come through the middle of the map, find a couple of kills. And now it's 2 players left on the side of Q9 to potentially do something. It's 2 versus 3.
Yeah, Q9 try to respond. Vig helping out, and Mauchi's gonna be the last one against 2 players. And Q9, interestingly, repeating the B choice and facing the consequences of that as Seminole adjusted themselves, their own pace and their own decisions to respond quickly to these major decisions when it comes to rolling on the map. The bomb is kind of far away, but Mauchi is going to try to get it to, again, look at the live players from Seminole side. Such an interesting bunch of nades, right, Chris? We have to talk about it. They're so feared for so long. Nades and grenades coming from the Chinese side, finally becoming a reality since last year, and now definitely with Q9 today.
No, it's not a bad position here from Mauchi. But he is the one that has to make a move. Are they hearing that? Are they getting the sound cues? I think they have done. Seminole now on their way back over towards B. This bomb is going down. I think he's going to get it down as well, but it's going to be getting out. That's going to be the problem. Shot's going to start coming through. The pistol shot's not good enough. Mauchi gets away, goes for the chow. Will find the first, can't find the second. Washi comes in with the pistol kills and will even the odds. But these defensive rounds have not been clean from Seminole so far. They'll find themselves at 1 apiece, but it came down to a 1 versus 1.
Kind of slow rounds, but fantastic ones to watch, right? Very technical, very strategical. And Mauchi tried a very hard play here, trying to reverse his body, you know, almost 360 degrees from one spot to the back one. So it's very hard to do that fastly. And even so, he managed to grab 1 kill. Of course, not giving himself the follow-up, which was going to be hard anyways. But Seminole are going to be the ones to equalize this one with 1-1, as we see the round number 3 rolling over here with just Washi defending the B, but all the players are going to be playing on A apparently, as Young comes out and Xenon takes Marsha down for this 3v2. Cartels playing very well this map already, very confident. He brings 2 to the ground. Fantastic amount of kills by him. Now equalizing for this 2v2. Lean's going to be the one to keep the information line on this region of Tunisia, and the cameraman sticking to Cartels because he's playing so well. Mauchi is the man to take him down at this moment, and Wash is going to be the last one alive, Chris.
Bomb was down. Seminole knew where it was. I think he'll have an idea of what's going on here as well, Washi. Nobody's made the push. Could find himself going back over towards A, but this is a very, very hard retake when this bomb does go down, and it does so 45 seconds. Now, for Washi to try and prove that he can do this, this is going to be such a tough one. He does have a sniper, though. The Tundra in his hands. He's going to need to try and find a pick, and hopefully try and gun the second. Making his way through Winery now. Mauchi now just holding this one down. Washi should be dead to rights. Mauchi, big round coming in from him. 6 kills to his name already. Really, really good job. Coming in from Q9. Find themselves in the lead here. That's 2 attacking rounds out of 3 they managed to find so far. Seminole need to turn this defense on pretty quickly.
Yep, and traditionally, as we know, Chris, facing many opponents with the sniper is very hard, right? You don't have the timing to, you know, take one down and take the following one right after that. So it's always hard to use the AWP on those occasions. And we see Q9 managing to acquire another round as Bands was eliminated. Veg is responding against Mauchi, and we see the Chinese playing patience here, but trying to win those pocket battles over the map as Young takes Veg down, and Seminole are not looking good on the human side. They're not being resistant to the ends of the rounds.
Another gunfight inside of Winery. Absolutely insane win.
Yeah.
How on earth has he managed that one? All of a sudden, this bomb's now going down over towards this B side. Seminole leaking defensive rounds. Washi and Marshy now will have to make their way over, but this would be some kind of miraculous 2 versus 4 if they can manage to find it. Q9 have got this one on lock.
Yeah, Seminole. 2 players near. They're gonna have to play tight. As we know, Washi is gonna go for this one, but Q9 finalizes the round again. And as we said before, Chris, such a fantastic and consolidated defensive setup to not allow the Americans to do this retake. It was gonna be hard anyways, but we have to praise. We need to say that Q9 are doing such a great job as an attacking team, bringing confidence and making the decisions.
I think Seminole need to sit tight a little bit more. Feels like they've been offering up far too many first bloods. Big hit going to come in over towards the B side. They're ready for it this time around. It's only going to be up for 1-4 on trade. Jinan will eventually fall, but as it all plays out, it's going to be Marshy left in a 1 versus 2. How has this happened? Seminole had the numbers over towards B, and yet they still lose it. Marshy now can make a move. Try and find something here, but it's going to be so difficult. Marshy now knows that player probably in and around box. Sun trying to survive as his teammate now will do a round of the map. Marshy gonna make the move now. Shot's gonna go into Sun, who can just not be gunned at all here. That's 7 now from him. Q9 dominating here in the search and destroy.
Looking so massive, right? And mate, as we know, the Chinese, they like Q9 loves when they manage to do what they're doing, getting at the key positions at the points before their foes, and they are managing to be the one dictating the pacing on this map so far. Such a great map for them, such a way to come from day 1 to the second playoffs day, as we have seen them dominating the first half of Tunisia. Sun already taking Bennett down. It's gonna be complicated for Seminole to get back to this one unless they have a very nice and solid plan for the second half. But Q9 playing with patience, not only out of the bomb site itself, but also in there, as we see a 4-man hit coming to B, and the only defending player is gonna be Cartels. He managed to do it. What a bullet. But Sun responds. We see a 2v1 now. The reinforcements are gonna have to come because Marsh and Vega are gonna have to play together on this one. Marshy taking Oling down. Sun in there. A 2v2, which may come to the side of Seminole, but Q9 looking so confident. No. Sun takes back down. Interesting. Marshy's gonna be the last one alive.
Gets the information. But the main bit of information that he has is that he only has 20 more seconds to defuse this bomb. They're just playing with him. Marshy now onto the bomb. Gonna go for it, but this has not been a good start so far from Seminole. Gonna go for the defuse. Not gonna find it. Sun with another kill. It's a dominating performance in the defensive side. Coming up now for Q9. Attack was fantastic. Still smiles on the faces of Seminoles. Not too worried about this one right now, but I think they should be, unless their attack is going to be pretty flawless. You find yourself 5-1 down and heading onto that attacking side.
Yeah, Bennett, always smiley, always confident. I love that. That's the competitive vibe we want to see on high stages. And as you said, Seminole are going to have to put a lot more here since they come to the attacking side. Already making B a potential entry point, but they begin to swing to B. And speaking of B, just Sun is over there, but it's not just yesterday's Sun, it's today's Sun. He's got 11 kills on his side out of 6 rounds. Such a massive performance by him individually, being a major force on the Chinese side as Oling takes Wash it down. And let's see how that's gonna play out, Chris.
First blow on the defensive side does make things a little bit easier. Seminole have really brought nothing to the table here. A couple of close-ish rounds, but for the most part, kind of just getting gunned in the middle of the map. Giving up too many kills. Not this time around, though. They will start to find a few more, so the first attacking round looking good for them. Sun, Mao Shi, completely split up. This big fight coming in from Mao Shi, though. Are they going to be ready for it inside a winery? Big gunfight going to go down there. Mao Shi will be able to find it. It's the fight onto Vague. That bomb in no man's land as well. Seminole, we're in a good position. I found nothing from it, though.
Yes, 2v2, tense moments of this round number 7, as we see Marshy trying to get the information. Mauchi and Sun, the best players so far on Q9 side, playing alone now to rob this one again. And there it is, 6-1. It's a match point for the Chinese side. What a performance by them, my friend Chris. I don't know what is happening here with Seminole. I don't know what precisely they're talking about at this point, but I mean, they need to do more.
Yeah, they need to do a lot more. It's not looking great. They had the numbers there and they did not make it count. Big nades coming over towards the B side. It was looking like Seminole were ready for a big push to come through. They've just been slowed down. They'll back down. And back to the drawing board they go. Q9 in such a dominating position here. I'm just curious if they can close this one out nice and quickly. How good they looked in control yesterday.
Yes.
Can they get something going? They only need one more round. Pushing over towards the A side. Just completely caught off guard. Owling. And all of a sudden that A site is unlocking key. Seminole will get this bomb down.
Bomb to the ground, and Q9 having the chance to keep comfortable, not having to do some bold decisions since Seminole are already very set and they have a nice margin as well. But Bent and Marshy growing to the occasion. Sun takes Marshy down, and this is gonna look daunting for the Chinese, but Mauchi doesn't give up. He picks one up, and he's gonna try to go even more cautious against the 3 alive players on Seminole's side, as we have him using the cover with quality, trying to bring some pre-fire over here to gauge the situation. But when Vake came, that's the play that we expect to see from Vake's side. Such a nice prize fighter to bring the quality again. And there it is. Is this gonna mean that we're gonna be seeing, another level, another chapter in this map, Chris?
Oh, I don't know. I'm not sure about that yet. Seminole find themselves an attacking round. They had the potential to find one of the previous. So, strong defensive sides be damned. It's not worked out so far for Tunisia between these two teams. On the defensive side, at least, anyway. The attack's been quite scintillating. Yangwon now positioning himself over towards the scaffold. They got caught out here at A last time around from Seminoles just sending it. Is that going to be the case once again? Big setup over towards the A side, one in mid, and one over towards the B side, who can transition pretty quickly too. Seminole yet to make a decision, just looking to try and find a pick.
Yes. And Q9 again, very solid, playing with patience, playing with the rounds that they have against Seminole. Cartel's gonna try this grenade over here to try to do that preliminary, and save kind of damage without having to put your head out there. The link takes Bennett down. We have to remember that Seminole, they have beaten Amigos yesterday, precisely at Tunisia Search and Destroy for 7-4 rounds. And they need to do more this time against Chinese from Q9.
Right now it's 4v4. Still 6-2 to Q9. 35 seconds now to get this bomb down. Q9 Sun holding towards the back. Was looking to potentially put a flank in, and that's now going to scare Seminole. They're going to have to do something about it. They know somebody's potentially on the flank, so they have to start making a move in towards the side. Jinan already waiting, but Yang Won is there to clean it up. There's 2 more from him, and 1 player over towards the top side. Dealt with. Washi falls. Q9 find themselves a map. 1 apiece in this series, in this first semi-final of the day here on Saturday. Brilliant performance from Q9, the Search and Destroy. We've got a series on our hands now.
Yep. Seminole swallowed alive in this map, to be fair, and Seminole almost repeating the standard that they had yesterday against Stalwart when it comes to the fallout of the maps. They have precisely won yesterday against Stalwart the hardpoint, and then they lost the Express Search and Destroy, so history may be getting repeated here for Seminole, as they're gonna need to step up on the control mode in some minutes. But Chris, what a performance by the Chinese. Totally dominating positionings and not allowing Seminole to use their individual abilities and spread it into a collective way of gameplay. We have seen the first half of the map being totally dominated by Q9, and the last one was just a confirmation of whatever happened before.
I think, honestly, the damage was done on the attacking side, right? They looked so fluid. They just seemed to be happy to make any sort of move they needed to over towards the other side very, very quickly, transitioning between bomb sites on the attack and just finding gaps in what was not a very tight defense from Seminole, to be honest with you. Poor performance from Seminole, but a really good one from Q9 will even things up here in this series. Q9 have got to be feeling good now. Can they manage to find a way back in the series? They've already done that with Control coming up next as well. They've got to be feeling nice about their chances now. Crucial that they found that map. I think they find themselves down 2-0. Things are looking really, really slow, but they find the search and destroy. Put themselves in a decent position now in this series.
Yes, and that all shows us that Q9 really watched whatever happened between them and Galleries yesterday, since the Chinese lost exactly also in Tunisia for 7-3 rounds, but then they overcame this one against Seminole. And now we're going to be looking at a mode where both Seminole and Q9 are unbeaten so far. They have the best performances on the championship in this mode. To be fair, the only teams that did not lose at all over here on Control. As we see final stats from Search and Destroy Tunisia. And Chris, such a massive performance by Mauchi and Son, right? These guys, they woke up today and said, yes, this is going to be our day.
It shows violence on Tunisia. Really, really good job from Q9. 13-4 and 14-3 respectively. What a scoreline from them too. Control going to be coming up next as well. Really, really good job from Q9 to even the series up here. I mean, how do we feel about the Control, though? You said, you know, Q9 have looked pretty good in that, but Seminole will still be feeling confident. It's not going to be a raid, crossroads either. It's going to be a raid, so that does open up things potentially for the side of Seminoles, but Q9 still will be feeling confident after that search and destroy.
I mean, both sides, Seminole and Q9, they have faced Brazilians yesterday on raid Control, and they have won by 3-1 rounds, as we know. So it's going to be a potentially hard map and mode to predict as we are talking here, Chris. I don't know what is going to happen. I think this map and mode number 3 are going to be the decisive points and moments for the series as a whole. They're going to show us the rest of the way how things are going to come down to what. So I'm very, very interested to see how things are going to happen, because Seminole, they have won the hard point earlier today, but not without hardness. Q9, they managed to get back, to offer some level of challenge. And if Seminole lost focus, for example, on Arsenal, I don't know if the result would have been the same, because we could see that Q9, when they begin gaining momentum, they use that on the scoreboard as well.
Well, let's see if they can continue that momentum, though, into the Control. As mentioned, it is going to be a raid coming up, but we are going to go for a very, very short break. And after it, we've got map number 3 coming up in this series. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this.
Yo, ND. See the boy self-made. So I don't watch face. Yo, look. See the boy self-made, so I don't watch face. No way, I just do myself. On my feet all day, this is see that pay. On my boss, Arteta Mikel. But you know about nights in the rain, no pain, no gain. Gotta stack that highlight shelf. Came in the game, no name, no bust down chain. Just me in the world. Men lie, women lie, but money don't. She a bad bee with a lady man, that's a honeycomb. You got my bell when I got your bell, don't wear, that's a funny phone. Came a long way from my one trainers, no clothes and a runny nose. Cause I been it, seen it, feel it, believe it. See my Andrex thump up for a feel it. See nothing, ain't see no dreaming. Show only team that I'm teaming. Music, therapy, need it, I'm feeling, I hear it, I feel it, I write it, reveal it. Start, don't stop till it's mission completed. Try, don't drop till the feeling deleting. See the boy self-made, so I don't watch face. No way, I just do myself. On my feet all day, this is see that pay. I'm a boss, Arteta Mikel. We know about nights in the rain, no pain, no gain. Gotta stack that high, that shelf. I came in the game, no name, no bust down chain, just me in the world. Yeah, self-made, so I don't watch face, I just do myself, yeah. All day this is see that pay, Arteta Mikel, yeah. Nights in the rain, no pain, no gain, that high, that shelf, yeah. I came in the game, no bust down chain, just me in the world. Yeah. I'm a real champion G, I'm in the Champions League. Man, what you say, we not talking to me, I'm a boss on the rap, pull up in the Jeep. 4x4, interior clean, pass it to me, let me score for the team. 3-0 hat-trick, living the dream, you see. I ain't a regular teen, pop champagne, celebrate with the G's. All of the work that we did for the P's. A-star boy, now I need me a BC, my diamonds cold, man, it's 100 degrees. Never giving up, so don't do it please. I swear the win and it's strong like a breeze. Everyone raise up your hand to the the B, cause the night we gon' scream for the E's. G's. Cause I been it, seen it, feel it, believe it. See my Andrex thump up for a feel it. See nothing, ain't see no dreaming. Show only team that I'm teaming. Music therapy, need it, I'm feeling, I hear it, I feel it, I write it, reveal it. Start, don't stop till it's mission completed. Chart, don't drop till the feeling deleting. See the voice of me, so I don't watch face. No way I just do myself. On my feet all day, just to see that pay. I'm a boss, I'll tell me go. We know about nights in the rain, no pain, no gain. Gonna start that high, like show. If I came in the game, no name, no bust down, change, just me in the world. Yeah. Self-made, so I don't watch face, I just do myself, yeah. All day just to see that pay, I'll tell me go, yeah. Nights in the rain, no pain, no gain, start high, like show, yeah. I came in the game, no bust down, change, just me in the world. Yeah. We are the champions, we are the champions. We are the champions, yes we are the champions. We are the champions, we are the champions. We are the champions, we are the champions. We are the champions, we are the champions.
Dímelo claro de una vez, que no soy un santo, pero estaré hasta que no estés. Si quieres me largo, si vuelas yo vuelo también sobre el asfalto. Más vale mala que buena conocer, por eso aquí te guardo. Un egoísta, te busco la noche si no estás pues parto la pista en busca de otra para llenar el cuarto. Un egoísta, te busco la noche si no estás pues parto la pista en busca de otra para llenar el cuarto. Yo quiero tenerte, tenerte, tenerte por mí. Yo quiero tenerte, tenerte, tenerte por mí. Ay. Yo quiero tenerte, tenerte, tenerte por mí. Yo quiero tenerte, tenerte, tenerte por mí. Tú lo malo me saca, si me ves solito no ataca.
The Snapdragon Pro Series powered by Samsung Galaxy is brought to you by Snapdragon Elite Gaming, Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra, Monster Energy, and DHL.
Welcome back to the Mobile Masters, and we have a game on our hands here between, of course, Seminoles and Q9. A fantastic start to the series from Seminoles, but a very slow search and destroy and a brilliant one from Q9. It will even this series up, heading into Control. We're all tied up. It's myself, Ton, joined by Linux. Man, I don't know which way this series goes now. Honestly, after seeing Seminoles map number 1, I was really scared for Q9, but a big bounce back in the search and destroy. It's anybody's game now.
Yes, and that's what Q9 usually does, and that's what they did yesterday, like by winning confidence on the way and managing to secure a spot in this day number 2. In Seminole, are going to have to do more. I think they're going to have to get back on that kind of mindset that they had on Hardpoint, and especially yesterday as well. They're going to need to be fair, the Seminole that the American fans, that international fans are used to see, but again, Chris, this is the kind of series we love to see, right? With a lot of highs and downs and a lot of chances of getting back on track. And that's what Q9's try to do.
They're trying to. It was a really good performance in the Search and Destroy, though, and I think control for them has been pretty good, too. So can they manage to find something here on Raid and put themselves into a lead? Just having a look at the rest of the series, actually, I'll have another run through. We do have a hold of it. We did have the stats. Having a look at it, it's going to be Raid coming up, obviously, and then we are going to get to see Apocalypse as well. Slum Search and Destroy will be map number 5 if we need it. Hasn't been too many map number 5s, but this kind of screams of it for me. I mean... I'm curious to see which way this one goes, because I think, honestly, from a hardpoint standpoint, Seminole just looked fantastic in map number 1. But Search and Destroy, it was very much Q9s on Tunisia, although Slums is relatively similar in the kind of way that it's played, that you would expect that defensive side to find a few more rounds. So I think if it goes map number 5, I'm feeling Q9, but if it doesn't, of course, then it would have went towards Seminoles if they can find the control in the hardpoint.
Yes, let's see how that's gonna happen, because I would say that control mode is very, very balanced. It's very tricky. You think you're on a certain pacing during the series, and eventually, if you're not focused, you can just fall down. We have seen that happening. Yesterday, we have had a lot of very straightforward matches, not needing to go longer than that. But with these two teams, I'm very, very good to see, because what's going to happen, because they got themselves like similar win rates, as we know, Chris, and Seminole, of course, stepping up, winning a lot of maps, and of course that's going to add up to your confidence. But when you face a team that's struggling, that's trying to defend the honor of their region and country, as Q9 is trying to do here, then you can have yourself another level. I don't know how that's going to play out. Let's see which side is going to begin the map more confident, considering the positions they're going to have on the beginning. So all these elements are gonna be very decisive here.
Yeah, we should be jumping into map number 3 pretty shortly. Just waiting on the guys getting themselves set up for this one. What kind of prediction would you have here for the entire series now, though, that we're sitting at 1-1 here, Leonex? Which way are you leaning at this moment in time?
I think we are looking at a 5-map series as a whole, out of the 5 possible maps, and that will be just great. That would be, for the Brazilian fans in São Paulo, Brazil, a very, very nice warm-up to whatever is going to come ahead, since Gallery is going to play later on against Stalwart. But again, I think Seminole, they're going to want to fix some situations that they have faced so far, especially when it comes to using the duos and the trios, which is something that Q9 did better in Tunisia, as we just saw before. So I think Q9, they are charged on, they're spot on the mission to try to do their best here in São Paulo. Let's see how that's going to go. And I mean, the solutions that Seminole are going to bring to themselves here.
I feel like you give me you said a lot of things, but you didn't give me an answer.
What you want to know precisely? Come again.
I want to know who you think is going to win this series. Yeah.
I mean, that's a tough one. That's why I escaped. I was dodging you, just like Q9 was dodging Seminole previously. But I think eventually, in the end, Seminole, they're gonna bring this one, because they have this kind of element that we see usually in great teams, and I'm speaking specifically about the getting back on track, the recovery power inside of a game. They have showed us this before yesterday, and so far they have not stumbled down against many major opponents, as we know, Chris. So I'm gonna go for Seminole. What about yourself?
Honestly, after that Search and Destroy, I'm kind of feeling Q9 in 5, to be honest with you. I think they can find the control here. I think they'll lose the hard point, and I think we'll go to a map number 5 that they managed to win. But I'm not too sure. I think it's difficult. Of course, both these two teams very well matched so far, but both maps relatively one-sided, but in different directions. Into map number 3 we go, though, and we are going to what is, for me, the best Call of Duty map of all time in Red. We're heading there. It's going to be control between Seminole and Q9. Seminole going to be the first on the defensive side, Q9 on the attack. Attack is slightly more favored for the most part. But can Q9 manage to find it to kick things off? Seminole need a bounce back after that poor Search and Destroy.
Yeah, classical B-push, as we have seen all along the day yesterday. But Seminole trying to come for this one. Q9 were better on the bullets level, as we have just seen. But still, it's a very open and wide battleground at this point. Cartels trying to come for this one. Seminole managing to have 4 kills on the lead against Q9 in this beginning of the mansion. The most known mansion on Korean map pool, as we know, as Young was over there coming through the mid. We have a broad vision now, and whatever is gonna happen from now on is gonna definitely shape the rest of the round, because the first gunfight brings an energy, brings motivation, and now we're gonna see more of a positioning gameplay on both sides.
Yeah, not the worst of starts from Q9, but not the best either. And a little bit of presence over towards the A side. Couple of kills starting to come on through. Marshy will slow that down. No player in particular making any moves yet from Q9. They're in a good spot to do something about it, but look at this pressure coming in from Seminole. They're going to just completely take over the spawn. They need to make sure they do find some kills on the other side of things, though. You can already see the potential spawn trap being set up. A couple of kills starting to come through. They're going to start spawning in Cubby over towards the garage side. So Q9 coming off the respawn. We're going to start to find some kills. Actually, it was looking like the spawn trap could potentially be set up, but now all of a sudden you have control of A. You've completely lost your control of your spawn, yes, but you have control of A. You get that locked in. Lives just about in the favor of Seminole, but only ever so slightly.
Yep. Yeah, but I would call that, not yet eventually a spawn trap, but a spawn bugging, right? Because some Q9 players, they were going there to bug, to poke, and to try to eliminate Seminole players who are now heavily committing to B. We see just Vague now alive, but he was taken down right after. And Q9, just like that, regaining the kills advantage. We can see that we have 2-3 players over here trying to dominate this spot. They're gonna totally, step over this region, but Seminole is trying to respond with whatever they have. It has to be now. They only have 5 lives away from seeing Q9 scoring 1-0.
Wow, Jinan. Fantastic work from him. That's going to pretty much solidify the round now for Q9. Seminole, just not enough bodies to do anything about this one. And honestly, they set themselves up for a really nice spawn trap over towards the garage side. Could not quite find the kills when they... I mean, look, when you invest so much time and so many bodies over towards that garage side to commit to that spawn trap and you don't find it, it can be a huge dagger in the whole entire picture of the round. Fantastic work coming in from Q9 to battle themselves out of that one. They got a hold of A. They transitioned to B very, very quickly. It's going to be an A hit coming out immediately from Seminole on their attacking side. Q9, are they ready for it? Looking like they are. Plenty of mid-map control. First couple of gunfights going to start going the way of Seminole. Young one can answer back here as well, but need a bounce back if you're Seminole. You're starting to leak rounds in this game.
Crisp. Wow, that was rough. And Q9 beginning a little bit lost on the beginning of round number 1, but then they became more fluid as a team, moving and killing, and we have seen them growing here in raid. Again, Q9 in this round number 2. Wooling, what are you doing? Taking cartels and turning him into a John Doe with a flower over his casket in the best case scenario. What a bullet. That was toxic. Fast one, Q9 managing to have some kills ahead against Seminole, and Seminole, though, are trying to come to the B, but there it is. We see Young. It's fast pacing kills, right, man? That's so cool to see.
Q9, fantastic start. Oh, and all of a sudden, that's how control can change very, very quickly.
Yeah.
Get a few bodies onto the point, and then all of a sudden, things can look a little bit dangerous. Ban now starting to get some control over towards Laundry. Will, of course, have the Purifier. 1 kill, 2 kill coming in from Ban. Now starting to get aggressive, expecting the push. Q9 are going to have to give up B. And then with complete control of this map, they lose 1 flurry of gunfights. And B is gone. And A is now under pressure. Ban still going with the Purifier. Manages to find 3 now, putting massive pressure on the spawn. Seminole in a potential good spot to do something here about this round that looked entirely lost at one side.
Yep, that's the regain spirit from Seminole. Trying to get back on this one. The Purifier was fantastic, but is that gonna be enough as Q9 begin also gathering, piling up skulls and killing more at the end of round number 2, as we see Malchi trying to move by himself. Such an interesting solo movement. Slowly Q9 begin to dominate the core of the map. Malchi moving with the equalizer and doing his things, dancing slowly. Q9 protecting the A, and it's gonna be down to this one.
Big investment coming in here from Seminole, though. They know they need to find something here. 1 minute to go. Lives are very, very low. Seminole now completely run out. Washi needs to find something with this Annihilator. He has found 1 kill already. Looking to trying to get something going. But every single kill that comes in from Q9 is going to just spell trouble for Seminole unless they can start to turn it on to 4 versus 2. Seminole need to try and find something. They're back on down. There's 2 players left remaining. Sun will find Vague on the flank. And it's all down to Cartels. Q9 really starting to turn up in this series. This would be so difficult for Cartels to find anything here. Doesn't even find 1 kill. Big celebrations coming in from Q9. 2-0 up here in the control.
And apparently, Chris, the timing when it comes to reversing things for Seminole is usually on the middle of the rounds or maps. It's not usually on the ends. We have just seen that happening again. Seminole not finding the forces, the power to get back on the end of round number 2 as Q9 is looking stronger and stronger. And the clock is ticking on their favor, to be fair. Now, as we see, Q9 is gonna be playing on the attacking side, and they're ready to find that A is gonna be their priority.
Big push coming through. Money cleared out here as well. If they can get a bit of kitchen control, then all of a sudden this is so bad for Seminole. And the problem was for Seminole there, they invested a lot to get a hold of that round, and they found nothing from it. Q9 invested themselves too. But they're the ones in the commanding position here now. Good shots coming in from Jinan. Push over towards B starting to happen as well. 2 ticks already over towards A. And it just seems so seamless from Q9 here.
Yeah.
Just feels like this control gameplay is working out so much better in their favor. Sun now. Bit of a waste, if I'm honest with you.
Yeah. They're playing so well, right? And I want to know whatever Sun has put in his juice today on breakfast, because they are going well, but he's the man. 20 eliminations right now out of 2 rounds. We're gonna move to the end of the 3rd round, and just like you said, I mean, the fluency on Q9 side is just bizarre. They are just moving as they want to whatever they want. And speaking of which, they're moving as a squad, as a block now to come through the garage and try to do this push against A, but Vague looking pretty solid here on the bedroom. We see him with the equalizer falling down. Such a great job again. Wow! Vague, 4 eliminations in a row. What a player. What a nice role by him to help the team to get back on track. On the top of 2 eliminations come from the Pad missile. So what a guy. He's totally bringing the team back.
Fantastic work coming in from Vague. Felt like Seminole needed a spark to get them back into this game. Now she has managed to find a way out though, but the problem now for Seminole, yes, okay, they may well be leading on lives, but it's 1 segment needed from Q9. They need to find 1 decent break, and this might be it. Good shot coming in from Washi. To find 1 was okay. Vague will find another onto Sun, and a second as well onto Yang Wan. Ao Ling investing. The Annihilator's out, and all of a sudden, things are starting to open up here for Ao Ling, who can find the second as well. A 3rd to his right-hand side inside of basketball may well just be the only thing slowing it down. Only 4 players remaining. Finds the shot, but Cartels does as well. 3 players remaining from Q9. They're going to drop. Fantastic work from Seminole. They will hold this one down. Unless Q9 can find something. Unless Sun can continue to shoot like this. 2 versus 5. This is still doable, but the Hunter-Killer drone is out. And that's just going to be so difficult for Q9 to deal with here. It's looking like Seminole will find a round back. Really good job from them. But Sun, can he find anything here? Looking to try and pick his way through. Big gunfight about to come up, but Sun's going to find it. 2 versus 4. Seminole choosing not to go for this. And oh my goodness me, how is this happening? Mao Shi finds it. Sun left in a 1 versus 2.
Yeah, mate. Not only 2 alive players on Q9 side, but Sun and Mauchi, super players, having such a gigantic flurry of power. Cartels finalizing this one. There it is. It's in the Americans' hands again. So nothing is totally lost here for Seminole, Chris, as we've seen this nice regain effort by them. Bringing bullets slowly, trying to read better Q9, redominating the map, and there it is. We still have a raid control happening.
So they just about find it. They nearly fumbled that one, Seminole. Washi kicking it off with a good sniper shot through the middle of the map to try and gain some control, but this push over towards this B side starting to come through now for Seminole. Big hit over towards the side. Last round they fully hit over towards the A side. Vague and Washi though starting to combine. Seminole starting to wake up here in this control now. You got looking very good for them, but they still need to find 2 more rounds.
Yeah, needing to come back. We see many small battles being won by Seminole all of a sudden. They killing more, Bennett killing more, and slowly as time passes, apparently the window for Q9 to drop this one is being closed. because Seminole are gaining confidence. They're killing more. Cartels is playing by himself, but that's just a smoke to the real play that is happening here by Seminole. And I'm talking about A. They're trying to step over this one, but Young comes, brings a pair of kills. Seminole responds with Marsh and Vega. What a moment in the game. Very decisive spot here on Raid, my friend.
Q9 have defended it well, though. Gravity Vortex gun is out. Young One finds one. He may well find a couple with that one, not quite making it land. Shot's going to come through. Cartels is the one who can get it done this time. Cartels will find a second. He's been lights out here for Seminole. And he's really needed to be because they have not been at the races in this one. Vegas had a good game as well. He needs to continue to do so. Seminole pinned back just a little bit, but they will lock B down. 16 versus 16 in terms of the lives. The setup here now from Q9 is very, very deep. They've got nobody through the middle of the map. They have to win their gunfights. They're not winning them at all. Band is winning every single one that has been offered. And all of a sudden, Q9 backs against the wall.
Yeah, they're back on this one. Seminole struggling, fighting the best they can. Marshy fighting some kills on the right flank. Let's be frank. Cartels with the UL. Looks like he's holding a claw in his hands. It's such a massive amount of damage. We see Q9 striving, but there it is. Seminole having the chance here.
Shot's starting to come on through. Seminole still with the chance. Vig now. Equalizer out. Washi here with the Annihilator as well. The second shot is absurd. Sun will fall. And Seminole now looking so good to tie things up here in the control. They were looking dead and buried after 2 rounds. And all of a sudden, Q9 have got nothing to answer to what Seminole are doing. 2 apiece now. We're heading to a round number 5.
Oh, my Lanta. What is happening here? I mean, mentality, the mindset of a champion, the mentality of the best team currently on NA is totally in their favor. It's been a buff for them here. As you said, looking totally lost and buried alive, but they're back on track. 2v2 on rounds. We're gonna need the 5th round to wrap this one up. As we see Marsh already coming to be, it's going to be a heavy investment by Seminole to this region, but Q9's not offering them the space. They're trying to fight as well. Their own bullets. Young killing him, and Oling taking Vig down. He comes out of the cover. Such an even end of map.
Oh, huge from Band, but he could only find one. The Purifier invested for only 1 kill. Mashi eventually gets rid of Maoshi in the middle of the map. Now the push coming in through over towards this B side. Seminole trying to find something. Washi's going to manage to find something onto Yang One, though. Finds the kill. And nothing found from Jinan. A lot invested here from Q9. B is already gone. And they just seem to be crumbling now. Q9 were in complete control of this game. They're barely getting a kill. Seminole in such a good position to do something here. Owling has to do something. He's found 2. He's found 3. Can he find the 4th from Owling? Shuts down Seminole. Massive plays coming out from Q9. They needed to find something, and that might be the something that finds them the game. Huge moment.
Yeah, it's their moment. Are they going to seize this one? Or they're going to watch Seminole keep growing? What a game, ladies and gentlemen. That's a fantastic comeback attempt now by Q9. As a response to Seminole's comeback some rounds back ago. And we see Cartels coming for this 1v1. Let's see what he's going to be able to do. Nice work with the UL. He's treating the UL, which is a heavy weapon, by the way, Chris, as an SMG. It's almost a pistol on his hands. It's so light to carry around. He's doing a fantastic job, Cartels here, coming and growing to the occasion. As we see 14v14, both sides very, very tense. Let's see how that's going to be dropped out.
Couple of kills coming through from Seminole in the middle of the map. Mashi will find a free one here onto Maoshi. And all of a sudden, it just feels like Q9 are starting to turtle up a little bit. They're starting to sit with their backs against the wall, waiting for the push to come through from Seminole. Not getting any mid-map control. Seminole have 50 seconds to try and find a break here over towards this A side. Next couple of gunfights are going to be huge. And neither one of these teams want to give anything away. Jinan on the outside over towards the pool. Waiting for the push to come on through. And it's just slowed down massively as the push now starting to come on through. Yangwon, Owling, dealing with everything that Seminole have thrown at them. Jinan will find another. And for all that, Seminole were taking their time. They're running out of time. 10 versus 11. Q9 holding this down. 20 seconds. You've got to move if you're Seminole.
Yeah.
Can't find anything. More. Gravity Vortex gun out here now from Q9 as well. No gunfights are going Seminole's way unless Cartels can do something here with the War Machine. Manages to find 3. 5 lives left. Make it 4 lives left now from the side of Seminole. Q9 just about gonna hold on. Seminole cannot breach the defenses. And Q9 find themselves in the lead in this series. 2-1 up.
That's it. You see, vibration. Yeah, the beast is out there. Whoa, he wants to hear what comes from the American side. What a provocation here. Chris, nice result. What a reverse. I mean, Seminole eventually looking like they began waking up to the map too late. In Q9, they were able to regain positioning and regain confidence, rework themselves to drop this one. Okay, in the toughest possible way, but nothing new to them. They have done this yesterday against Galleries, and now they have just, replayed the same scoreboard against Seminole.
Fantastic job from the side of Q9 to find themselves now in the lead. And honestly, it comes back to that moment I want to say from Olang over towards the bike. Seminole got such a good start on that final round. Managed to find themselves with B pretty much immediately. And the push around the back started to come through. Ao Ling with the Annihilator finds 4 to shut the push down entirely. Huge moment. Maybe the best play of the tournament so far. Coming in from Q9. 3-2 in the control. Find themselves in the lead. They've got 2 more maps to secure their first spot in this grand final at Mobile Masters. They are 1 more map away.
Yes, and I love and like how the Chinese players, they rotate between themselves to help the squad as a whole. We could see that this time Olin was the MVP on their side, stepping up and helping Mao Chi and Sun on some situations. So the Chinese team, they were very patient to see how Seminole were gonna play, and we're gonna try to rotate the map. And Seminole, they did their best. I would dare to say, Chris, that this was perhaps the best exhibition on Seminole side when it comes to control on this championship, or at least at Masters. But now against the Chinese players, from Q9, I don't know, that was not enough. Let's see how they're gonna adjust to the sequence, to the follow-ups on the series.
They just didn't start great, right? I mean, they got absolutely smoked in the first 2 rounds. Really wasn't a great start. Then they started to wake up. They brought it back. And they had the opportunity. I mean, they had a fantastic start, as mentioned, in round number 5. But it's just a huge moment from Ao Ling over towards the back. Fantastic job from Q9. And this was it. He'd already found 1 before this. 1, 2, 3. There's the 4th as well. Insane shots coming in from Ao Ling with the Annihilator. Crispy as you like. As efficient as possible. Really, really good job from Q9, who are starting to get hyped. They find themselves in the lead in this series now. And they've got to be feeling confident. We're heading into a map number 4 now. I believe we're going to go to Apocalypse. I don't know how you feel about it, but with the way that just turned around, Seminole, where are their heads going to be at? They've got to be feeling really down after that one. Q9, the momentum definitely feels in their favor now.
Yes, we've just seen the massive amount of damage they can begin causing with the operators. We've just seen what Uling is able to do with the Annihilator. So we need to talk also about what Vague just done with the Equalizer. So a lot of players stepping up and helping their squads, meaning that this next hardpoint is going to be huge. And we see some stats from Uling just to keep talking about the man of the map. We see 34 eliminations on his side, died a lot, meaning that he offered himself for the team. He was there trying to do the bold movements in place and assisted 6 times. What a great performance by him. Definitely holding the hands of his mates and doing more than yesterday.
Oh, incredible moment from him towards the back and just doing such a good job. Fantastic job by Q9. Putting themselves now in a spot to close this series out and potentially get an opportunity for that grand final. They are not far away. Only 1 map, in fact, to getting themselves there. I honestly, I still think Seminoles have a chance. Based on what happened in map number 1 and how they played that Arsenal, it's very much down to your fundamentals on Apocalypse as well. You need to make sure you're rotating. You need to make sure you're locking them in and finding the time where you can. They're very good at doing that. Can they do it here, though, to force a map number 5 in this first semi-final of the day? We said it was going to be a banger. It has been. It's went all the way down to the wire on map number 3. First 2 were very one-sided, but in different directions. Map number 4 incoming. Apocalypse about to start. Do Seminole send us to a map number 5 here, or do Q9 close it out?
Yes. And it would be massive by Q9 to rob this one. We don't see Ben smiling anymore. Focused as he should be, and the team is talking about what they need to do. And we also have to remember, Chris, that both teams, they have won on a smaller hardpoint map yesterday. Q9, they have beaten Inco in Summit, and Seminole did the same in Summit against Amigos. So yes, indeed, they do know how to roll a smaller map. It's going to be such an interesting occasion to see that happening in Apocalypse, and that's why I'm making the comparison, because Summit and Apocalypse are both hardpoint maps and smaller ones than Hacienda, then Takeoff, then Arsenal. So let's see how all of that's going to play out, because it's going to be a smaller space to play on.
Well, here we go. It could be the last map of the series. Q9. Can they close this one out, or will Seminole send us to a map number 5? Map number 1, which was the hard point, of course, on Arsenal, went Seminole's way. They'll have to do the same if they want to see this map number 5 here on Apocalypse. Great start. Cartels has been fantastic for Seminole the entire tournament, the entire season. On the North American side of things as well, but Q9 just do not want to go away. Good stuff from them. P2 spawns are going to be paramount. Right now, it's looking like it is going to be Seminole who are going to be locking them in. They're spawning out now, but they've got one player over towards that backside. You've got to keep an eye on the rotation over towards P2, which is coming up in 30 seconds.
Yeah, such a fantastic early control map by Seminole, dominating the first spots, but then Q9 began responding. They were also helped by the respawn flip. We could see that some players begin respawning on the very extreme left side of the map, so that's gonna keep playing out on their favor. We see now that the Chinese side is beginning to control the spawn for the P2 and also stepping over this next hill. Let's see how that's gonna be helping them ahead, since Seminole are not playing this one just to get back home. Definitely they want to step, they want to do more, and they're gonna begin fighting for this one as a potential retakes being set up by the Americans. Washing doing very well. He was taken down by Zenon on the following seconds, and the points are being very coherent, very loyal to whatever happened before in the series, Chris.
Q9's keeping a hold of the spawns though. Oh, Washing and Vega have done so well there though.
Wow, man.
They managed to just fall into the clutches, and all of a sudden the spawns over towards the backside for Seminole. Going to help out. Howling will find 2 before he does fall. The pressure coming in here from Q9 already. Equalizer out from Maushi. Does he find a lot with it, though? There's going to be the second, the third as well before he falls. But ultimately, it will be Seminole. They didn't have the rotation over towards P2, but they managed to get a hold of the spawns. 20 seconds now remaining towards this back hill. Looking like Seminole going to pick up every single one of those seconds. Unless Sun has something to say about it. Eventually, we'll get shut down, so rotation's going to be coming in. Seminole, the winners of P2. 10 seconds remaining. It's going to be about a 25-30 point lead by the time we head over towards P3.
Yes, and this edge by Seminole looking very sound. They are looking so confident. Almost full dominance on P2, and then P3 is going to be active. It's going to be out there for both sides, and Seminole already trying to create an edge against Q9, who are going to have to strive. They're going to have to do a little bit more and try to get inside over here. But we have Cartels with the War Machine being decisive again, killing 2, eventually 3, but that's Owling on the other side to also respond using the War Machine, as we have just seen. Marshy tries to step over. Seminole regaining control. Q9's not giving up. This is such a huge battle between such huge teams, as we are seeing Seminole potentially looking at a 75 points at the end of this hill over here, Chris. I don't know, but Q9 already takes whatever I just said down.
Trying to get some sort of control here, Q9. It's felt like Seminole are leading the dance at this moment in time. A little bit of control, a little bit of scrap time. Rotation in there for them as well. Q9 just seem to struggle on the rotations. Time and time again, they lose the gunfights at the wrong time. These transitional fights, so to speak, never seem to be going their way. Although those ones are all going to go their way. Q9 with a good rotation over towards the next hill. And Jinx Seminole, apologies to the North American fans. Howling, though, starting to heat up here as well. Q9 a good opportunity to find themselves back into this game.
Yes, as you have just said, the Chinese are reversing whatever we say, so let's just keep sticking to facts. Strictly speaking, just kidding, because Q9, they are showing us so much since yesterday, so yes, they are just doing massive here against Seminole. And Seminole, as you have just stated, they are, you know, winning those transitional gunfights, who are so essential for setting up before the foes. Seminole now behind on points, and Q9 looking stronger and stronger as time passes by. Q9 surely are not going to lose their second hard point today against the Americans from Seminole. We see such a middle map battle here to see who's going to set up better at the P4.
Yang Wan finds 3 or 4 in and around the point, and still Q9 can't hold down, but they will find themselves in the lead now. Really good hold over towards that P4 hill. We head back over towards the start of the rotation now. And again, it's Q9 in control of P2. Can they keep a hold of the spawns this time? That was the problem last time around. Gunfight starting to go the way of Q9 maybe a little bit more, as Washi and Vague will combine to counteract that. 50 seconds to go here at P1, and Seminole in control.
Such a nice offer challenge by Seminole against Q9 because they dominated the hill. The Chinese were obligated to regroup and be patient. And again, the solutions on the side of Q9 apparently come always from several kills in a row. That's what they need now. It's to begin winning the fights against Seminole. Since the Americans are looking solid now at this hill currently. Let's see how things are gonna play out to the next hill, since both teams are already doing those side battles. We see Cartels against Mauchi, excuse me, to win the lurker battle, and Mauchi did a better job.
He spawns. They've lost it again. Seminole are finding such a good amount of work, I want to say, over towards this P2 rotation, but now Sun still has control of these spawns. Can they start to find the kills here? If you're Q9, you're in a good position to do so, but Band will find 2. Oh, and some will commit suicide as well. It's just not worked out in any sense of the imagination for Q9. Really good hold from Seminole, though. They've got 50 seconds on offer here now.
Yes, nice job by Seminole, rotating from that second P1 to the second P2. Nice transitional work again, just like you said before, and dominating the objective, not allowing Q9 to respond to this one. Q9 looking spread out, looking a little bit lost on pace, and they're gonna have to regroup to fight for this one, because winning those small 1v1 battles is looking harder and harder for them as Seminole grows a lot. We have Marshy, speaking of which, Michael Bennett also with the Purifier. What a nice amount of kills happening to help Seminole over here, and surely they're gonna want to capitalize on that as the map keeps rolling on.
Unfortunately for Q9, you've committed far too much towards that end of that P2. That scrap time was fought over. You find nothing, and now Marshy starting to rain hell on you from up top as well, moving into the next hill. Seminole now find themselves in a decent lead. Transitional kills are there again. Band. 25 for him, 25 for Cartels. Washi's right alongside them, as is Marshy. Really, really good job here from Seminole. And the thing with Q9 making the push over towards P2 so often, even when Seminole had it locked down, you start to feed streaks, you start to make it just that little bit harder to come back into the game. Seminole want to see us in the map number 5, and so does everybody else. Q9 starting to find a way back into this one with 40 seconds to play for. They need a good hold somewhere.
Yeah, you can almost tell, mate, the Chinese, they're feeling, right? Q9 is feeling. They don't want to choke, but Seminole is playing so well now, winning almost all the battles, and also on the top of that, dominating the hills. The Chinese, they're gonna need to bring the best of Sun, the best of Mauchi, and Loling again all together to try to get back to this one, because it's looking not so good for them. There it is, as just we say, Mauchi gets in with the CX. We are seeing Q9 trying the best. This rotation could be kind of, I don't know, tricky for them. Let's see how they're gonna fight this one.
Gotta try and find it. It's felt like Seminole have just been a step ahead at every single point of this game. Washi investing now as well. Predator missile starting to come through. Q9 starting to find a couple of kills. They absolutely need to find a break here. Jinan now with the claw will find another. A lot of investment coming in from Q9. 45 seconds to play for here. If they can pick it all up, they will not be far away from Seminole's lead of 189.
Yeah, nice development. Combination of Purifier and Claw, always decisive, always massive. We see Young, he has not stopped, eliminating 2 at a row and dominating the control point. The hill itself, as you said, definitely getting closer to Seminole. And Seminole, they know that they cannot fight this one without losing a lot of life. So, is it worth it? Should we rotate to the next one? That's the question they are doing themselves right now.
They still have control of P2 spawns for when they get there again, and that is really where they have dominated here on Apocalypse. If they can find those positions once again, they'd be in a really good spot to potentially win this game, but that's a huge gunfight going to come through from Mauchi. Really good job. Continue to survive there as well. That's going to be the spawns now for Q9. They haven't been able to hold them, though. Every single time they've had the spawns for P2, they have not been able to lock it down. But now we have a 20-point game, and now we have a kill feed just entirely full of Q9. But Vig, he turns that on its head. The equalizer out. 3 kills found. And now the pressure will start to go back on towards Q9. Seminole still in control of the point. Vig just running through absolutely everybody. 5 kills to his name. Seminole in complete control of P1.
6. He's not there yet.
Still
7.
going.
Vig.
He's still
8
going.
eliminations. My God, what is this strike right now, Vig? You are just a beast. My God, what he's done now. Such a great job to definitely put Seminole back on track here, Chris.
P2 rotation is still going to be crucial, though. Q9 need to start winning some gunfights around that side of the map. Control is looking like it is going to be there for Seminole once again. This has been their bread and butter every single time. These P2 rotations just looking so good. And you can't do that on the biggest money hill on this map. Now if you're Q9, you need to find a way through and you need to try and lock it down. You can't even get anywhere near Band locking it down with the Purifiers. G9 will find 2, though, and the spawn towards the back. All of a sudden, there's some potential now for Q9 if you can find the kills. Spawns towards the back. Can you continue to get something done here? Big kills coming through from Vig, Marshy, everybody combining. It looks like we're going to head to a map number 5.
Yes, look at that. Washi, double elimination. This is gonna have to be called the map of the operators, right? Because every single one using everything they have at the same time. And Q9 finding a spot at P2, finally fixing the situation and not allowing Seminole to get back. Seminole gonna have to play for the P3. Are they gonna go for this one? Such a nice nade by Vig. Let's see how things are gonna be playing out. Apparently it's not worth it anymore, and Seminole, they know this, but they keep fighting, they keep trying, they keep coming from the back line to try to recover.
I mean, that's a lot of kills just now following the way of Q9.
Yes.
A lot of operators were invested as well. The move over towards the next hill. Yang One, if he can get up close and personal here with his Purifier, that would be massive for Q9. Seminole still only 8 points away. The hill going to be popping in a few seconds, but the kills on transition starting to fall the way of Q9. They smell blood in the water. Sun, Mashi starting to combine. They find a breakthrough. Seminole still only needs 7, but Q9, 30 points away. They found the break. They've got the hold.
What is happening here? Q9, such a great job. The hill is not yet on the Americans' hands. We're gonna have to see this investment now, Chris. Is it gonna happen?
They found them all. They're all dead.
Q9. Yes. Wow. This is gonna be so good for them.
Q9, 14 seconds away. Seminole 6. Washi will find 2, but he needs some help from the rest of the team who are now starting to spawn towards the back. They can't find the kills.
Oh.
They can't find them. Q9 are 5 away from a grand final spot in Mobile Masters. What a comeback from the Chinese side. 3-1 victory. How have Seminole let that one slip?
No way, man. No way. Q9 on the finals here at ESL Mobile Masters, eliminating the Americans from Seminole in a crazy, absolutely crazy, astonishing, and delightful to watch. Apocalypse Hardpoint. What a game, what a map. A lot of comebacks, a lot of highs and lows, and Q9 makes it in the final.
What an incredible game. But Seminole, they had the rotation. They had P2.
Like him. Yeah.
They didn't. They didn't lock it down. I don't understand.
Yes, I don't get it. Chris, this is not the Seminole that the fans are used to watch. They have not been that aggressive as they should have been. I mean, what just happened? They won the first hard point and then lost on Apocalypse, as we see both teams greeting each other. What a game, man. Definitely an effort was brought up to the occasion by Vig, by Band. That was not enough.
What a game. Mount Chi, 51 kills on Apocalypse. Huge game coming in from him. And it felt like the whole story of the game was around P2, right? I mean, it felt like Seminole were locking it down every single time. The first few rotations of hills, it's really where they got the majority of their points. They had the rotation in on that third rotation of hills. They had P2 on lock. They lose the gunfights. Q9 get in. Q9 hold. And then if anything, Seminole overcommit to try and get some control back again over towards P2. Lose every gunfight again. And all of a sudden, Q9 have the spawns for the next hill as well. A misstep from Seminole has cost them dearly. And they are going to crash out of this tournament. Top 4. Very, very close map number 4 between these two teams. But Q9 will be the victors. They will walk on into the grand finals here at Mobile Masters. In a deserved grand finals as well. Fantastic in the search and destroy. Brilliant in the control. Maps 3 and 4. Insanely close. And they will be fighting for that trophy behind them in a couple of hours' time.
Yes, what a massive victory here, Lauren, as we have seen Q9 triumphing and getting to the finals. Such a great amount of numbers as well, as we have just seen. Sun was the team player here, having more than 2 minutes inside of the objective itself, so he was the master OBJ on this occasion. And Olin and Malchi stepping up and helping him. So as we have casted before, the individuality helping Q9 to get away from this hard situation and classify to the finals.
Yeah, I mean, that's gonna sting, okay? That's gonna sting for Seminole. 6 seconds away from being in the grand final, or from saving the grand finals chances at least, and bringing it to that game 5. I mean, that was a well-fought back and forth between both of those teams. You could see that Seminole definitely struggled in that first S&D, and you know, either way, we knew it was going to be close back and forth, but this Q9, the Q9 we see today, looks ready to be in that grand finals 10.
Yeah, I think for me, where they were turning around was really in their operators. We've said that these big games between these really good teams always seem to come down to these moments. And look how far away they were behind. They were 2-4-2, 1-7-5 down. And what Seminoles didn't only found another another 2 points, while Q9 found like 80 or 90. Are you kidding me? Just an incredible turn of events. How on earth did they turn that around? Just the clutch factor. I mean, you go back to that control as well, Lauren. You think of Ao Lang and the 4 that he found with the Annihilator and the control. Insane plays coming out from him and the rest of the Q9 team. And honestly, it's just those clutch moments where they came up with it. Time and time again, and Sentinels just didn't have an answer. Fantastic game, though, between those two.
Yeah, they handled the pressure very, very well. I'm excited to see now who they face off against in our grand finals, because coming up, we still have Gallerus and Stalwart, and that's... I think everyone's going to have their eyes on Gallerus for that, seeing what they can bring to the table up against Stalwart, who actually had a really good day yesterday and kind of brought their chances back to make it to the stage of the competition. So we still have loads of action in store. So when it comes to our Call of Duty competition here, we get a peek at the MVP. I mean, Lanix, you were talking about him, Sun, MVP after that performance.
Well, Q9 Sun enlightened. He casted light over the quality gameplay level of the team. Fantastic stats with 37 eliminations and dying 34 times. And I was talking about him, as you said, Lauren, because he was massive as an OBJ. And we know the OBJ is the defensive role that a player plays inside of a hardpoint mode, sticking to the objective, staying right there, inside of there, being disciplined enough to wait for the reinforcements. But he played so well, such a massive performance, and all that comes to show how organized the Chinese team is, placing one player for that kind of play and using all of the others to also fight a lot and fight for the slaying positions. So it was such a great and massive performance by them.
Yeah, you know, Q9 are now really going to be fighting to keep the title in their region. This is going to be a really important grand finals for them. They've got something to prove here, and now it's going to give them an opportunity to sit back, relax, and watch who their potential competition is going to be. An opportunity to take some notes on how they perform heading into grand finals and see what they can kind of do with that information. So if you're at home, make sure you're settled in, because the way that this day is going to play out is probably going to be insane, and you're not going to want to miss a single second of any of the action that we have coming up around the corner. But that's just our first semifinals match of the day. We still have one more to go. Before we get to that, though, it's time for a short break, so don't go anywhere. You're watching the Snapdragon Pro Series.
soy un santo, pero estaré hasta que no estés. Si quieres me largo. Si vuelas yo vuelo también sobre el asfalto. Más vale mala que buena en conocer, por eso aquí te guardo. Un egoísta, te busco la noche, si no estás pues parto la pista en busca de otra para llenar el cuarto. Un egoísta, te busco la noche, si no estás pues parto la pista en busca de otra para llenar el cuarto. Yo quiero tenerte por mí. Yo quiero tenerte por mí. Ay. Yo quiero tenerte por mí. Yo quiero tenerte por mí. Si me ves solito no ataca, como si me saca. Sé que mi cara me delata, yo te visualizo con la tata. Tenerte por mí. Yo quiero tenerte por mí. Ay. Yo quiero tenerte por mí. Yo quiero tenerte por mí. Pero lo mismo, sé que tú tienes mi egoísmo, también sé que va a mi ritmo. Tú eres una diabla, se te nota cuando me hablas, que te pica si otra me habla. Si me ves solito no me ataca, como son saca. Sé que mi cara me delata, yo te visualizo con la tata. Yo quiero tenerte por mí. Yo quiero tenerte por mí. Ay. Yo quiero tenerte por mí. Yo quiero tenerte por mí.
Give me girls, give me drinks. I wanna party, don't wanna think. I wanna do. How about you? What do you say? Give me bottles, give me a buzz, give me the music, give me some love. Wanna get drunk? I wanna play. Give me drinks. I wanna party, don't wanna think. I wanna do. How about you? What do you say? Give me bottles, give me a buzz, give me the music, give me some love. Wanna get drunk? I wanna play.
party. Pull up in your space and I don't say sorry. Everybody fading, looking for the Rari. I'm not everybody, I'm not everybody. Wake up feeling like a 10. Call me an Uber and he pull up in a Benz. Wake up feeling good again. Want a good time, so I bring my friends. I'm the best, I'm the best, I'm the best, I'm the best, I'm the best. You could kiss the ring, I'm the best, unimpressed with the rest, I'm the best. I'm the best. Will you come closer? I know what you like. Promise you'll come over. We'll have a good time. Have a good time. If you come over, you can spend the night. Spend the night. Promise you'll come over. We'll have a good time. We'll have a good time. I'm the best, I'm the best, I'm the best, I'm the best. You could kiss the ring, I'm the best, unimpressed with the rest, I'm the best. And this morning, no one is around and it's getting kinda boring. Rain falls down and the rain keeps pouring. Rain keeps pouring, rain keeps pouring. Damn, it feel good when the sun come up. Glass in the air, better light one up. Friends are all around and they say what up, what up. Pass that cup. I'm the best, I'm the best, I'm the best, I'm the best, I'm the best. You kiss the ring, I'm the best, unimpressed with the rest, I'm the best. Will you come closer? I know what you like. Promise you'll come over. We'll have a good time. Have a time. If you come over, you can spend the night. Promise you'll come over. We'll have a good time. We'll have a good time. I'm the best, I'm the best, I'm the best, I'm the best. Yeah, yeah. You could kiss the ring, I'm the best, unimpressed with the rest, I'm the best. I'm the best, I'm the best, I'm the best, I'm the best, I'm the best.
The Snapdragon Pro Series powered by Samsung Galaxy is brought to you by Snapdragon Elite Gaming, Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra, Monster Energy, and DHL.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the Snapdragon Pro Series, where our semifinals match number 1 on the day is done, and it's Q9 who are the first team to secure their spot in our best of 7 grand finals. Now it's time to find out which team will be facing off against them for semifinals match number 2. And it's going to be a good one, to be sure. We've got Infinity in here now joining us for that second semifinals match. And if you're wondering who it's between, we've talked about it a few times, but it's Gallerus versus Stalwart. And I think the hometown crowd, Brody, they're going to want Gallerus to not only win, but win in a dominant fashion.
Oh yeah, and I think everyone is expecting that as well at this point, right? Especially with how Gallerus performed yesterday. The crowd were behind them then as well. And Gallerus, I just think on the whole, they looked so good yesterday. They were feeding off the crowd energy. We talked a lot about that yesterday, about how the crowd were giving them a lot of hype. And I think they were definitely feeding that in towards their gameplay. The way in which they dispatched with Q9 yesterday, one of the best damn teams in the world, one of the teams that you guys just saw clutch up on Apocalypse Hardpoint versus a team like Seminole. They made it look so easy. I mean, the Control was the only game of the entire match in which they had any resistance whatsoever. Gallerus are a force to be reckoned with at the moment.
Yeah, and well, I think everyone has been keeping their eyes on Lucazine because of the individual performance that we've seen there as well. So definitely a squad that is going to come in today ready to absolutely dominate, but they're going to have to go up against Stalwart. And we were talking about this over the break, Lanex. My biggest concern with this is the fact that Stalwart lost to Seminole. Seminole just lost to Q9, and Q9 yesterday lost to Gallerus. You've now got essentially Gallerus in that first place spot playing the 4th place team in Stalwart. So tell me about this squad and like what you think they could possibly do with that.
Yes, it's very interesting to see before, right at the image we just saw here in the screen, that Lucazine apparently was replaced by Plinares, who's the 6th player. I don't know if that's going to be like that, but I did not see Lucazine on the pick, so I don't know if that means a replacement over here. Yes, definitely the man of yesterday, the man of the team. I mean, he needs to be here, especially on a semifinal match. So it's going to be very interesting, Lauren, to see how both teams are going to play out this one because, again, Galleries yesterday just needed 7 maps and they won 6 of them. So they had a shorter campaign, a shorter track. On the other hand, Stalwart, they were the most, let's say, tired team. They needed to play 14 maps and they have won 6 of them. So they are perhaps more tired or mentally ready to this kind of challenge because they have more material to study as well. They have watched a lot of opponents, so they're gonna definitely explore that against the massive super team of Galleries.
You know, and that was something we talked about a lot yesterday too, Brody, was the idea of burnout. Obviously, teams that had to go the full distance were playing for 9 hours, and that definitely takes an experienced player to be able to kind of mitigate the exhaustion that can come along with that and navigate and still perform the same in your last match as you did in the first match. Able to rest now and come back today, hopefully refreshed. But like Lennox was saying, they should have more information on the side of Stalwart at least to try and work with here when it comes to going up against Gallerus.
Yeah, and the thing is as well, you saw Stalwart, unlike a lot of teams here, they played every single team in their group. So you got a lot of information to work off. Stalwart yesterday, though, I think a really weird team to gauge. We knew that group was going to be a lot closer. Stalwart, though, they had to go to 2 different game 5s, one of which was preventing a reverse sweep. That was against the Rejects, and they got trounced by Seminole. So I think for me at the moment, when we're matching this Stalwart roster up against this Gallerus team, yeah, all right, they had 9 hours of play yesterday, so I kind of maybe you can put an asterisk on that game number 5 versus Amigos. But even so, it does somewhat feel like a mismatch to see this Gallerus team that were running through teams yesterday, running through Q9 yesterday against a Stalwart team that were struggling. I think specifically looking at game modes like Control and Hardbosss as well, especially in those respawns.
Yeah, and Lanex, that's not even adding in the addition of the crowd, specifically for Gallerus. After their matches yesterday, we saw family members, friends. I mean, they had their own Gallerus section of everybody in their merch, hyping them up, celebrating their wins. And there's something to be said for that level of support.
Definitely, since Galleries is a very, I would say, a welcoming organization, also bringing all their influencers team to the occasion of the studio, to the arena. So definitely that kind of support helps you to stack up your gameplay level. And I'm eager to see how that's going to buff them also today. And on the top of that, taking that idea here to the table of discussions, we have also to mention that indeed, Seminole yesterday, they have faced Amigos and Stalwart that maybe may have boosted their confidence for today, but then they have just faced Q9 in a long match, and we have just seen what happened. So Galleries cannot commit the same mistake, mentally speaking, as Seminole, and maybe consider that yesterday could definitely define things on the way of the day number 2. I'm assuming that Galleries are going to keep working hard and keeping focused, I would say, to not allow their opponents to grow to the occasion, because Stalwart, as Brody has just stated, they are used to longer matches, and I don't know, Galleries, they have not shown yet their resistance capacity.
Yeah, that's definitely a good point. Hopefully Galleries isn't going to underestimate their opponent in Stalwart, because that would be the most epic time to not do that. And to be fair, we see sometimes those mental slips. We literally just saw it in the last semifinals match where you thought Seminole was going to be able to close out on that hard point at 2:44 for however many minutes, almost 2 minutes, I think, at that point. And it is the teams that lock in, like the Q9s, who are like, it's fine. We just have to play our game, that are able to bring it back and then tie it and then win, Brody. I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah, I was really gutted, actually, that I didn't get to do any analysis on that matchup, just because, honestly, like, my face, like, our producer probably would have seen it. Like, obviously, he gets to see our faces and stuff when we're not on screen. My face for that entire last 90 seconds of that last hard point was just, like, pure, like, shock. I was just like, constantly. Ton will probably use that as a meme at some point. But yeah, I mean, it is very easy, I think, for you to slip up in those situations at these kind of levels, right? It is very, very difficult, especially deep into these matchups, for you to make those mistakes. But you can't. You cannot do that, especially if you're Stalwart here. I want to say that much. Especially if you're Stalwart going head-to-head with a roster like Galleries. Now, maybe, again, I'm not too sure whether Plin is playing or not in place of Lucasin. If he is, that's a massive gamble. I know that they're still very good with Plin, because they obviously won LATAM season without him. But still, that's a massive gamble. Nonetheless, though, you've still got to have your guard up. If you're Stalwart, you can't be making those kind of mistakes that we just saw from Seminole. You can't be going this massive scoreline up in hardpoint and then up losing it to a roster like Galleries, because Galleries will take advantage of that.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see the player walk-ins, because then we'll have our answer to the roster question on the side of Galleries, when we can finally see who they end up bringing in and getting themselves ready and settled on the stage. So we will be getting to those in a few short minutes. We're just waiting for that second group of teams to be ready to go. Of course, following along with that live event from Sao Paulo, Brazil. So we just have to make sure that everyone there is all set up while we hang out and chat all things about this matchup. Chat, while we've got the time, then I will ask you for your predictions nice and early this time around for this second matchup of the day. Will it be Stalwart as a little bit of an underdog here in this situation for semifinals match number 2? Or will it be Galleries, the hometown hero, the one that everyone is expecting to win? And as I say that, we see the stage. It looks like it's getting ready for everybody to come out. And while we see that, I think it's a good time for us to give a huge thank you to our presenting partner, Samsung Galaxy, for providing these devices you see the players using with a game-changing combination of speed, power, and mobile AI. Victory can be yours with the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra, powered by the new Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 for Galaxy. Graphics render in real time with ray tracing for hyper-realistic shadows and reflections, while the bigger vapor chamber keeps the S24 Ultra nice and cool for a smooth gaming experience. You combine that with an all-day battery, the brightest adaptive mobile display, and the new Galaxy AI features, and you can expect to have an epic mobile gaming experience. Check out the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra to play like the pros that you see here today. Obviously, we have to give a huge thank you. You can see all the players there. They've got their selfie moments going here, Brody. They're getting prepared, ready to go. They've been playing on them all weekend, and the stage, of course, is just gorgeous.
Yeah, it is. I love the setup, man. I know, obviously, you know, there's a ton of setups there for these guys to play on, but it's just so cool seeing these kind of guys playing on LAN again. When so much of this play is played online, to see these guys in the situation where they can play this awesome setup with the crowd right in front of them. You know, these crowd get to watch these awesome games. Again, it goes back to that conversation point we were talking about where you've got a squad like Gallerus that are playing on home turf here, able to feed off the crowd in a setting like this. It's such a rare experience, and once you get into the groove here as a player in that situation, you really do feel it. So I think, yeah, for sure, it looks awesome, and yeah, you know, shout out for ESL and Snapdragon Pro Series for putting the whole thing on.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting. We can get into this second semifinals matchup too. Now, I know where you both sit on the prediction for the team that's going to win. Okay, I'm not even going to ask who you think is going to win. I want to ask, while we get to see these walk-ins, I want to ask where you actually think the strengths and weaknesses might be for these teams. Where's an opportunity for Stalwart to take a map off of Gallerus, or where should Gallerus potentially be maybe concerned, and something that they hopefully will have worked on from yesterday to today? And Brody, I want to start with you.
Yeah, I'm really glad you did, Lauren, because I honestly feel like, and this is going to upset a lot of the Stalwart fans out there, so brace yourselves, folks. This is probably going to be a 3-0. To be honest with you, I think just looking at what we saw from Stalwart yesterday, looking at what we saw from Gallerus yesterday, and what we've seen historically speaking from Gallerus in the past, they're a very, very strong hardpoint team, and they're also a very, very, very strong search and destroy team. Stalwart have struggled in hardpoint and control over the last couple of days, and really, they do share that weakness between these two teams, right? Again, control is really the only map so far. It looks like where Gallerus could potentially lose a map here, Lauren. So it feels like that maybe is where Stalwart are able to take a map away in this one. Maybe they take the search and destroy. Either way, it feels like this is definitively a Gallerus win for me.
Well, I love that. I love that. Okay, Lennox, I want to hear your thoughts on the two teams as well now.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to second what Brody just said, because Gallerus so far is undefeated on hardpoint and search and destroy, having 100% of a win rate on those both modes. And on the side of Stalwart, also, yes, a complicated hardpoint and control is gonna mean that Stalwart, they're gonna need to win the search and destroys. Not only the first one, but the eventual second search and destroy map here. And that comes to say that they're gonna have to prolong the series, because Galleries, they're gonna want to rock this one fast. They're gonna be the one to the team to dominate the pacing and try to already apply a 3-0 as Brody was stating. I think it's gonna be a way more one-sided semi-final match as compared to Seminole versus Q9.
Okay, I love it. I love it. Well, we also got our answer to the roster question. All right. We saw the walk-ins happen there. Everyone honestly looks really happy, but we do see Lucas in there with the squad. So now we know that was, just an older roster photo. We might not even have caught that yesterday. That might have been what they had yesterday, and we didn't even notice. And this is a now slightly even scarier Gallerus squad going up against Stalwart. I like that you guys pointed out where there are opportunities for Stalwart to potentially maybe take a map off of them, but as they do their ritual pre-game hype chat team bonding moment, Brody, you saw how wild, you heard how wild, you can still hear how wild the audience is right now. We have air horns, we've got clappers, the crowd is going wild, and we also now have our vetoes.
Yeah, for sure. So looking over towards these vetoes then, just very quickly here, starting things off on an Arsenal hardpoint, and that's going to be interesting because we've seen this 3 times from Stalwart Esports over the course of this weekend thus far, and well, twice they've won it. One time they lost it. That one was versus that Seminole squad that we already kind of knew were looking pretty good over there as well. So I think they should be okay, and they've also avoided Gallerus's best map pip there. But we saw both Summit and Arsenal hardpoint for yesterday from Gallerus as well, and obviously, as Eagle's already said, Gallerus are flawless in hardpoint. They haven't lost one yet, meaning they won both of those maps when they played them. So the hardpoints, I think, are looking still pretty good for Gallerus. I expect them to still be won. Stalwart, though, they've got to look for an opportunity. Maybe they find it back in the Express Search and Destroy. I think that's a man too.
All right, look at all of the Gallerus fans, everybody looking very excited to see how this match is going to play out. Our players are already sat down. Everyone's starting to get all of their gear ready to go, which means that we can't be too far away from our second semifinals match of the day. I want to see what this prediction looks like as well from chat and the audience to see where they kind of fall on the side of who's going to win or lose, because I feel like it might be a little biased. Might be just a little bit biased.
Just a little bit.
You know, it's all right.
Yeah. And Laurie, just to add up to the show, again, Galleries here represents Brazil, represents Latin, and now they are not only doing that, they are representing the whole Western region. If you want to call it like this, the whole hemisphere is gonna have to vouch for Galleries if they are geographically driven as it is. But again, we're gonna see if Galleries are gonna survive and go to the finals, because on the other hand, we have Q9 already there, and also Stalwart representing the Asian region. So it's gonna be a massive challenge for Galleries. Apparently, I would even dare to say their biggest challenge on an international stage, and since they have came actually to Call of Duty Mobile.
All right, I love that. You see a little last minute fist bumps on the side of Stalwart. They look pretty locked and loaded, ready to go. A few moments to themselves to kind of get themselves in the right mental state before they dive into what I'm sure they are expecting to be tough, because we're in semifinals of the best teams in the world. This is not about to be an easy road for any of these squads, but I can't tell if they look a little nervous here or not, Brody.
Man, I mean, to be fair, I think both sides to a certain extent. There's always going to be that level of nervousness, right? I mean, you are again on the main stage here. This is one of the biggest events that Call of Duty Mobile has ever had. $200,000 on the line here, I remember. And, you know, for both of these guys, you're in a single elimination setting, so you get no second chances here. It is do or die time, and I think Stalwart Esports in particular will be nervous going up into Galleries roster. That again, a reminder for you folks at home, if you didn't tune in yesterday, Galleries, they didn't just beat Q9, they beat down Q9. And you can see this, I think, reflected here in the head-to-head. You know, again, the KD that we see there, they are looking very, very strong at the moment, comparatively to the stat lines that you see here for Stalwart Esports, where things look a little bit more even. You can kind of see the struggle that they had yesterday in their group to escape it, a little bit more laid out on what these stats actually look like.
Little bit of an insight here, but I feel like it never tells us the full picture here, Lanex, because there's so many more things that go into it, but it does highlight at least even just the difference in aggression on behalf of Galleries.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, these numbers show us that Galleries were slightly more efficient, to stay alive and to kill. On the other hand, Stalwart, maybe they were more exposed to eliminations, but that does not mean that they did not succeed. I mean, they're here, so they have they needed to have better dialogues with the objective, and that all that's gonna play out in some seconds, some minutes, as both sides they get ready. And there it is. We have the beast. We have him sending kisses to the crowds. Not only being such a great player, but also a very charismatic person. So such a great pre-game for them. The confidence is there, Lauren. Let's see how that's gonna turn out into points.
And this is the other reason I love LAN, okay? Because you get those small moments where you can see the personalities of the players really shining through. It's just, I mean, he's just having a good time. He has been spoken to by the interviewers so many times. He's had the other players give him respect so many times. He's had the casters both in Brazil and on our stream, you know, hype up his ability so many times. So there's a lot of pressure on his shoulders, and every time he's risen to that occasion, getting MVP, constantly putting up good numbers, and still being able to have fun with it, that's the mark of an absolute S-tier player, Brody.
Yeah, I mean, Lucas is just so fun to watch, isn't he? You know, he's got a personality. You know, we saw that yesterday, both here on stage and in the interviews, and he's also happens to be relatively good. He's okay, I think, at COD Mobile. I think we've seen that from his gameplay. He also broke a record yesterday, I think, with his 64 kills. Yeah. And it was the map #1 versus Q9 of all teams, in which I think he got that one. Galleries, I think, are just so lucky to have him on side. If this is a poll, this cannot be a poll. This cannot be a poll where 75% of people... I mean, look, okay, you guys, if you're all Stalwart fans and you're supporting your team, you know what, you guys go nuts. I appreciate it. It's great to have the confidence. But you're going to need it against this Galaris squad because these guys are on fire at the moment. We talked very briefly there about Lucasin, Lauren, and going back to the interview yesterday, I think it was Raballo that said a lot of the teams view him as, or this team now, as the Avengers picking up Thanos. And I don't think there's a more apt description out there.
It's a perfect comparison, but we've got to talk about that poll. That is crazy. I actually love that we're getting that much stalwart support here, at least on the virtual side of things, or whoever's in chat with the voting, because you know that Galaris has the local support in their favor. So this is just really, really impressive that we're seeing still these fandoms coming through nice and strong. Lots of love there for Stalwart, which I also really, really enjoy seeing, because when it boils down to it, at the end of the day, LaneX, all of these teams deserve to be here. They're all literally the top in their region. That's why we're even at this stage of the competition. So they should be proud of their achievements thus far.
Yes, totally agree with you. Yes, these teams, they have worked so far and so hard. And as we see Mihawk using his traditional posture here with the leg up, and that sock is so traditional of him to use that on LAN events and also with the pillows. But again, looking at Galaris' squad right now, Laurie, we can see the confidence, and it's very interesting to see how Lucasin, he's at home, he's feeling comfy. He's even sharing his confidence with the roster, and we see here a lot of those Galaris influencers I told you before. Very, very cool to see them all together cheering for the Brazilian Alive team. And we should also say about Lucasin, Lauren, if you allow me, because Lucasin before, back in the day when he was defending in cool colors, there was a lot of discussion into the Brazilian and Latin community about him playing alone, not being backed up properly by his mates, but now he's feeling totally happy and of course safe on that kind of environment that we have just seen.
Yeah, I think that was a really good show. Now we know where the air horns are coming from as well. It's the Galaris influencer section as they're hyped and ready to go, because semifinals match number 2 is ready to go. Brody, LaneX, let's get into it.
Alrighty, thank you so much, Lauren. Let's get into it, folks. We've got one team in the grand finals, still the Mobile Masters already. Let's get another one there. It's Galaris versus Stalwart Esports. No second chances. You do not win this, you are done in top 4. And it all kicks off here on an Arsenal hardpoint. It's Stalwart Esports. They're going to touch the hill first.
Yeah, such a great first gunfight on the side of Stalwart, already dominating the key positions. As we see Pop-Zero trying to respond, he's gonna try to come for this one in Galaris. Just like that, they regained their reign. They managed to steal this one from Stalwart, who already acquired some initial points on P1 and equalized situation over here, buddy.
And Galaris answering back. They've already got control of P2 here. Still a wealth of time to go for, so I can't imagine Stalwart are going to give this one up. They're going to give this one last look. Skird with the double channel alongside a teammate. He's going to pick up one while Incendio does end up going down, but nice trade from Lucasin to take that player out. Ultimately, Stalwart Esports here with that last little investment in towards P1 here. Haven't fully got themselves over towards P2. Pab0 with the advanced positioning is actually already going to be here. Already picking up a couple of kills, but it is not enough right now to give control to Galaris here for early of P2.
Yes, anticipation on the side of Stalwart, smartly done. Galaris are gonna have to bunker up, gonna have to bring the whole squad to fight for this one, but we see that Stalwart, they are very well positioned so far. But Mihawk is trying to deny that, but FD comes back on track as well. Pocky, it's such a hybrid, mixed up kill feed over here, and Galaris retakes this one, just like they did on P1. They are again on a powerful position, Brody.
Yeah, it's going to be Stalwart with the backlines here. Galaris trying to force this one through the front. They've already started to pick up the gunfights in their favor as well. Let's see if both can do anything towards the hard point. It's going to get shut down by Hen. Mihawk also covering from the mid connector as well. Can anybody find their way through? FDX does, but he does immediately get traded out, as is probably expected from Lucasin here. And again, same kind of situation as last time here. You've got to be careful if you're Stalwart in this situation. You cannot afford to keep on hitting old. You're now spawning out towards the old hard point as well. Galaris should be the first to be touched on towards New, but there's going to be a big gunfight going down. FDX, who already has a streak in his back pocket. If he can perhaps take out Pab0 towards the back line, maybe that would have been a way in for Stalwart towards the next hard point, but it's not a gunfight. He wins.
Yeah, it's complicated. We see now the Annihilate on the hands of Lucasin. That's gonna be massive. Eventually, he's gonna be getting close to the positioning with his mates, and Stalwart managing to poke, to bug, to bother Galleries, not allowing them to be so strong on the hill. As we see Lucasin trying to step that up, but he was immediately eliminated. Now, a massive combination on the side of Galleries with fucking 4 eliminations. What a moment by him! Such a nice stack of kills to totally burst the audiences in São Paulo, combined with double eliminations. Such a pair of kills coming from the grenade, and just like that, Galleries scales up to 80 points.
Yeah, that was a big moment for Galeris. It should. I was going to say shut out Stalwart on this hard point. This is still scrap time worth going for. We don't want to overinvest, as once again, Galeris, for what feels like the 4th hill in a row here, have got the first player to touch on new. That's going to be Fokke with the R9. He can do some serious damage, keep a couple of players at bay. It might give Galeris first look over at P4, but he is going to go down. His presence is enough to keep Stalwart away for the moment. Shoutout's going to bring out the Sparrow and does get a couple of kills. So a bit of space now being created by Stalwart. Nice follow-up of a double from Clove as well. Galeris now spawning out on the other side. So this is a one-dimensional attack from them. They're looking to just brute force their way through. Lucasin and Hen survive the early engagements. Galeris, they're in.
Yes, Galeris going for the 100th points, as we see, managing to dominate firstly this one, but Stalwart managed to also make the breakup. We're seeing now Incendio coming up. This is gonna be a very interesting P4. Stalwart also trying to resist, and as we know, Brody, yesterday both teams managed to begin their series winning Arsenal Hardpoint. Galleries versus Q9, and then Stalwart did the same against Rejects and Amigos. So none of these teams have lost so far in the beginning when it comes to Arsenal Hardpoint. That's a very nice stat for us to bring here.
Yeah, but Galeris' win was against Q9. It was a big one to start their series, right? So we have to keep that in mind. But we know Galeris are very proficient on this map as they cross the 100-point barrier based off scrap time for the first time here in this hardpoint. Stalwart are going to be the first team to touch on a hill, as they managed to get control of P5. One player around the backline, though, Hen, is going to get spotted out here by Incendio. It's going to be a big 1v1 around the backline for the spawns. Incendio is now going to win that one, and I think Galeris was somewhat reliant on the fact that that gunfight was going to be won around the backline. Now they have to just go in by themselves. The trades are not looking good. Clove for a massive double. It's going to mean that Stalwart hold on here for the second. Galeris now, though, getting some players spawning in towards the backline. They can start to approach this from all angles. The kill feed lights up, boo, and Galeris are in.
And Lucasin loves P5, specifically speaking on Arsenal Hardpoint. There it is, using the cover. Nice combination of movements, and just like that, he's still alive. Third, 4 eliminations. The man is unstoppable. He's doing the streak. He's not over yet. And Fokke is helping him with the R9 again. Such a nice and blasty combination of damage on the side of the Brazilians to play against the Stalwart, who are going to need this second T1, Brody, to get back on track.
Yeah, you have to make sure you get some of this time for Stalwart. To be honest, they're not that far behind in this game at the moment. They're 50 seconds behind the likes of Galeris, but they don't want to find themselves not in control of P1, because if they don't, they might find themselves very deeply out of this game very quickly as well. But in they go, right into the claw of Mihawk, who picks up a couple of kills. Incendio will find some resistance on the opposite side, but now it's Stalwart who have been unearthed from this hardpoint. And I said it again, there is a wealth of time to get here. This is a crucial moment here in this hardpoint. Galeris, if they get this time, Stalwart will be in danger.
Yes, and they managed to do it again. Galleries going free right now with the null down against Stalwart. They do not stop. We're talking about 100 and potentially 70 points against Stalwart, who are totally stuck. They cannot get into the hill. They cannot organize to do the retake. They are suffering against the blasty damage coming from the Brazilian side. As we have Fabrizero well positioned, he comes again for a double. Nice movements by him. The Stalwart, they are feeling the pressure. They are here in the arena, and the Brazilians are almost building up 100% points as an edge against Stalwart. That's just gigantic, buddy.
I said it. They couldn't afford to give that away, Stalwart, and now they might be in trouble for the next hill as well. Once again, things just feel so unsafe. There is constantly players from Galeris that manage to get in behind enemy lines and really just become nuisances. And now you're going to start to see an investment coming out from Pabzera. Mihawk also has the EMP ready to go in the back pocket too. This has been a phenomenal game from the likes of Galoris, and now they're really starting to move forward here. Galeris going huge up towards the top line. Stalwart not really able to effectively get any time at all. Lucasin is turning and burning on every single player in his path. Incendio will deny another kill, but this is more time that Stalwart are not getting.
It's just a lot of damage. It's impossible to break him down. As you can just see, Lucasin right now looking so strong, hopping into 40 kills, just himself. And we see also Mihawk, Pabzera, the whole squad is helping him out. And the speed 2 is pretty much solidified on the side of Galleries, who are looking extremely strong, looking to eventually wrap this map up on P3. But we see Stalwart trying to do what they need to do, Broly, which is rotate before, try to set up, because Galleries is coming right ahead.
And this is the second time this entire game, maybe the third if you count that last hard point, where Stalwart do actually have control of the hill. Yeah. First to touch, but already they've lost Clover around the backline. He should get the close pawn in, and indeed he does. A couple of investments now coming out from Skurd and Shadat respectively. It's the Claw and the Sparrow. Clover around the backline, able to convert for one. That's an egregious challenge against Hen, who had the head glitch to work with here. Stalwart Esports now starting to lose some map pressure, starting to lose some real estate. Fokke around the backline, Henry Cat finding one, and all of a sudden it's a couple of players isolated towards the front. FDX though will burn a couple away. Stalwart, they survived that initial approach, but there's still glorious players on the horizon.
Yeah, finally finding their eventual pickpocket kills. Galleries, though, they tried to go for the full-on, the kind of commitment that they needed right there, but Stalwart also managing to defend themselves with a lot of quality right here. And the rotation is going to define whatever's going to happen next, because we're going to be talking about the next hill coming up. It's going to be so huge. This P4 was already taken down by Galleries at the first rotation. Brody, let's see how Stalwart going to manage to do that while they head over to the hill, because as we have just seen, they were before P3. Now they're going to have to get there after Galleries is already set up.
Yep, one more wave of gunfights. Galleries have this one down. You're facing down Fokke. He's got the R9. He finds one. Lucasin, he's got the Annihilator out now, and it's the War Machine from Pabzera 2. Galleries, they want it done here. Wayward spawns from Stalwart now. Can anybody touch in time? No! Galleries gonna win map number 1. Stalwart absolutely stomped.
Yeah, absolutely magisterial by the Brazilians on Galleries. What a performance to open the series. Such a great way to begin this game. Confidence is there. They are vibrating with the crowds, and thus they open this series with a 1-0 all map. Such a great job. Again, Brody dominating the spots, dominating the kill feed, and there it is. Just like that, they increase even more the confidence.
Fatality in map number 1. Stalwart Esports, another falling victim to Galleries on Arsenal hardpoint. Yesterday it was Q9, and that was a solid victory for Seminole back there. Not Seminole, excuse me. Galleries back there. My brain is all over the place. Galleries back there. That was a 250 to 182 performance for them. And this one even better. Stalwart Esports, not a chance. And I said it, I think, throughout basically the entirety of the map. For the most part, it only ever felt like 2 or 3 hills where Stalwart actually managed to touch first on. Beyond that, Galleries had control of pretty much every single rotation. They already had 1 or 2 players in advanced positioning before Stalwart even got a look at the hill. And for that reason, Galleries able to get control of so many hard points for such a crucial amount of time in that game. Of course, it also does help when they are simply out slaying Stalwart Esports, and that also happens here. Lucasin topping the charts with 43 kills, unsurprisingly there. But the rest of the squad, I mean, everybody was performing. Everybody on Galleries was doing their part, and that was unlike yesterday, where, I mean, let's be honest about this one, Igor. It was Lucasin dropping those 60+ kills that won on that hardpoint.
Yes, it is so crazy, right? How you have such a high-level squad that allows you to focus just on one aspect of the game, and that's what Lucasin did. He was focusing on killing, and man, when it comes to that, he's a beast. The rest of the team, they were focused on the objective, so you have the best possible scenario for Galleries when it comes to, you know, sharing those roles inside of the game. And just as we have just seen, they did it. They managed to, dominate the spots, rotate before, and they got it all, Brody. What I'm saying is they get there before, so they're strong. If they get later, it's not an issue too, because they can't fight for that. So Galleries, they are feeling so free right here. They are unstoppable so far in this championship and looking pretty much sound to go to the finals, but it's just the beginning of the series.
Yeah, and another thing you got to note there as well is most of the time when you saw at least one operator coming out of Galaris, it wasn't just one, right? It was one, it was two, it was three. They brought multiple out at any given time to make sure that they managed to get control of these hard points, and that operator usage can really make the difference. I mean, we've learned that over the course of casting the Snapdragon Pro series in the past, right, Igor, is that, you know, you have to make sure your operator usage is top-notch, and we did see that there from Galaris, who end up winning map number 1 in indomitable fashion. They now lead this series 1-0. Next up on the cards is going to be a Search and Destroy. I'm going to have to go and look at the chat here to see what the Search and Destroy was, because my brain is like a goldfish. But regardless, I think, you know, we talk about the way into this series for Stalwart Esports, Igor, and, you know, again, how good they have been at Search and Destroy this weekend. It's been their biggest strength by far. It has to be here, surely?
Yes, they need to step up. They're going to need to win this one. Also to show Galaris that they cannot be so overconfident as they were right now in Arsenal Hardpoint. So I would say this is going to be the biggest chance for Stalwart to step up, as we see the stats from Lucas saying absolutely bizarre. 43 eliminations on this one. Again, an MVP helping Galaris over here and dying so little, right? He was almost like a defensive play in this matter, not being so targeted. But again, he managed to kill a lot, so meaning he searched for the game. He was not just on the back line. So that's a very, very rare and precious combination. Definitely a world-class talent over here.
Yeah, for sure. Now, I did go check what the map is. The next map coming up in this one is going to be Tunisia Search and Destroy. And oh boy, this does not bode well for Stalwart whatsoever, does it? Because we go back to that map number 2 that we saw yesterday, and that was between Q9 and Galaris. Galaris didn't just beat Q9 on that map. They stomped them. I think it was, I want to say 5-1 at the half, and that was when Galaris were playing on the offensive side, on Tunisia, by the way, which is a map that is, I'll tell you folks, not very offensively sided. It was a huge win for them. Doesn't bode well for Stalwart whatsoever. And we've also got the stat for Stalwart here. Yesterday, of course, they also played Amigos Gaming on Tunisia Search and Destroy. They had to go to overtime. They ended up losing that one 11-9. So Stalwart here, I think they are definitely up against it moving forward in this series. That hardpoint was a big loss, and I think this pick of the Search and Destroy map isn't going to help them either.
Yes, it's not going to help him. Again, not only because of the map itself, as you posed very well, Galaris, they were dominant here, and Stalwart, they've lost. So when we look at the map and the combination, it's looking, again, more to the side of Galaris. And not only that, but we have also to add on how much Galaris invests on the bomb sites. They do not play in a I would say in a passive, slow way. They totally build that up and then they go forward. And they love to play on the defensive half, as we have seen yesterday. We talked about it, Brody. They are so strong to set positionings, to use the snipers properly. And yesterday we have seen Lucas doing that. Of course, he can manage any weapon, as the players themselves have said before. But not only him is going to do that. Also, Pop Zero and Henry Catty. This trio is going to just make a massive destruction on the map.
For sure. Well, look, Galaris, we talked about how strong they looked on this map mode combination yesterday versus Q9. Can they make a repeat performance here against Stalwart Esports? It's going to be them starting things off on the offense, but that's not a problem for a roster like Galaris. We've seen that once before. Stalwart, though, heavily investing in towards A on this first defensive effort. Clove and Incendi opening things up with the first couple of kills. Lucasin, though, going to jump down and trade things out, make it even for the moment. Clove, though, now a 3 versus 2 in favor of Stalwart Esports. Now the 3v1. Very quickly, this round is falling apart. And all of a sudden, Pabzera left alive in a 1 versus 3. The bomb was in no man's land. No choice but to reach out towards the site. And a great read from Stalwart Esports there, dealing with the aggression early on.
Yes, and that comes to show that Galaris cannot just always rely upon their power on the trading aspect of the game, because they kind of went on the automatic mode here, just straight away. And Stalwart, on the other hand, they did a better homework. They were there before, dominating the key positions, and thus taking down the Brazilians. We're going to see almost a repetition, almost a replay from round 1, since Galaris is already stacking up to go down for A. Mihawk is up here, up in the top, to try to find someone off guard, as Clove is already there in the ground, but Lucasin helps him out. FD again also bringing the damage. We're gonna see Mihawk at this moment scored, responding with ability. It's gonna be Lucasin, it's gonna be Incendio, excuse me, against Pabzera and Lucas. Let's see if he's gonna survive to this one. Pabzera! Fantastic bullet by him! What a shot as a sniper. And again, Brody, we have seen, and we are just seeing now the confidence on the long shots by the Brazilians.
Yeah, so often these rounds, I do think on the offense for Gallerus are going to come down to whether or not they can just win some of these engagements, butting heads with Store on site. In that particular instance, indeed it was. The strength for the sniper rifles, or rather Pabzero more specifically, gets them in. Now things will be a lot slower this time for Gallerus. Maybe trying to bait Store out here. And Store, I mean, I don't necessarily think they've fallen for the bait, because technically speaking, they've already got 3 players on B. So the timing, if those players do choose to transition over towards A in time for this hit, might not be great for Gallerus. But for the moment, it is going to be a 2 versus 2 on site. Clove just chilling down low, waiting for that first chow to come in. As soon as it does, we're probably going to see a snowball of all these players starting to push.
Yeah, Gallerus apparently choosing A, but flirting with middle, flirting with B, as we see some players over there trying to make the early clear, but that doesn't mean that they have the bomb with them. FD is gonna come for this one. Nice bullet against Mihawk. What a shot, as we have Henry trying to come here. Okay, for the ground. Fantastic R9 against Scored. What a bullet from him. Now it's gonna be a 2v2. Brazilians with the C4 in their hands, and Foca is gonna have to come inside of the bomb. Also with Pabzero, he's not gonna push for this one by himself. This backup is crucial right now since Stalwart's got 2 players alive.
Yeah, FDX now on the flank here through Winery, though. I don't know if they know about this whatsoever, but FDX does. So if he gets some good timing here, they might be dead to rights. He has to be cautious about exiting out towards the site, though. That's why you're seeing him not just run out in towards the open, but oh no, that timing's not going to work out for him. The cautiousness in the end is going to mean that Gallerus do get away scot-free, and they're going to run right into the not-so-welcome arms of Incendio on the other side. Hugh snaps on towards one. Incendio looking for the double. Incendio takes them out of the equation, and look at that. He's very happy with the play.
Mate, it's so rare to see such a pair of kills so fastly by a defending sniper. Usually when you're in these clutch situations, you kind of have to also be lucky, right? To not be shot down from multiple angles. But again, Stalwart doing such a great work, on both bomb sites, and now feeling a little bit more confident against Gallerus.
Yeah, they do seem to be putting a stop to a lot of the shenanigans that Gallerus are putting together. Oh my goodness me, Incendio gets a little leg of a second player there. That's not before taking out Foke previously. Pabzero does answer back though, and there goes Incendio. That's key to getting them towards these B sites time and time again. So Gallerus now should be able to get this bomb down. The reaction from Stalwart is paramount. It has to be fast, it has to be furious. Shut up. I think he's just seen Hen on the other side of the mid pillar. Elsewhere, Lucason's taken down Clove. So all of this results now down to 2 versus 2. Now making a 2v1 in favor of Gallerus. It's just
Я хуй знает, может я тупой, блядь. Чё обновлять нахуй? Хер его знает.